a Wilhelm scream.
All right, what's up, everybody? It's Friday. It's open comps. It is Friday, right?
Yo,
Happy
What's
Friday.
up?
Friday. Everyone else is here. It must be
what's
Friday.
up, bitches?
How
How you
goes it?
doing? Welcome back.
Welcome.
It's really good to see you again.
It
Death
felt like
shots.
Friday for multiple days
Death
today.
shots?
Get it out of the way.
Death shots.
Oh,
God.
right, Oh, yeah.
Who died this week?
The
You know the movie Tremors?
Never
Not
seen
Kevin
it.
Bacon.
not Kevin, but the cool shotgun, like the
Not
cool
Reba
guy that's-
McEntire.
The cool guy
Yeah,
that
not
stuck
Reba
around for like
McEntire's
all
husband.
of them, like
Kevin
Trevor's,
Bacon's coworker.
Like Trevor's 7, I think, still had this guy. It had to be
I'm
the only
sad.
reason.
I love Tremors, and I liked that guy.
Yeah.
Tremors is a fun movie.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we'll watch it after the show tonight.
Hell yeah.
There you
Did
go.
you end up finding it?
I got it. If we need somebody to stream it, I can.
Oh, I mean, if you have it, I was gonna say like I can just find it, but
I found it.
he found
I
it.
only know where to pirate
I
it.
got you, bro.
Yeah.
I called up my uncle Torrance, and he was
What?
able to get me a copy.
You wouldn't download a
You got an Uncle
movie.
Torrance too?
I got good old Uncle Torrance.
Oh man, I like that name. I should.
Yeah,
get
me
that
too.
name.
I was
One
like,
of my favorites.
kind of nice. It's like
Oh.
Terrence.
I'm off this next week, so I'm gonna hound you, Akaroth, and you, Manic, until you guys make your characters.
Okay, doke.
Ah, well, I mean, I put a sheet together. I have a sheet.
Okay.
What's your character's name?
Well,
Hold on.
but you got to go up to level 3. You gotta, and also you guys were curious about like some general.
My
Like, workings of
character's
the stuff,
name is Intari.
so- Intari.
Intari. Like Intaki, but with an R instead of a K.
Or Atari, but with an N.
Yes.
Galente Victor.
Fred
Or-
Ward is his name. Fred
Or
Ward.
Centaur.
Fred were, yeah. 'cause
For
that was-
Oh, I'm sorry.
Centaur?
I could have told y'all
No.
that. I'm sorry.
Wait, you're not a centaur?
I'm not a centaur. I'm a variant human.
You could be
You
a
guys
Centaur.
okay?
I pick the most boring shit when I do
Why
this
do you
stuff.
always pick human?
I was
because
surprised.
because
You
I
should do-
always just imagine myself in these games.
Yeah.
Okay,
When you picked
did you
human, I was
guys
like, wait,
hear-
you picked human?
Did you guys hear Manic started a Final Fantasy character, and he literally picked human out of all the furry classes he could have picked?
Yeah, dude. Where's your like? That's the one place you could be a furry and no one's gonna shame you for it.
But I'm not a furry.
No,
should do,
neither
like,
is anyone else.
Reverse.
why
Centaur.
do I want to
There's
pretend
no
to be a
furries in
furry?
Final
Reverse
Here's
centaur.
you know what's worse
Yeah.
than being a furry is pretending to be a furry.
No, it's
That's
not,
true.
dude. Because then
It's-
you
it's
play
so
a cat
sad.
girl, and then you can be a cowboy, and you say meowdy instead of howdy.
Howdy.
God damn it.
No, I
Yeah.
always just I always just imagine myself in these characters when I make my character.
So wait, what class are you?
Rogue level 1.
Yeah, we gotta put you at
Okay.
level 3.
I would
Rogue
like
one.
to I liked the sound of playing a rogue.
Yeah, they're fun. And
How come he's not a graphic designer level 1?
Do we need
that's
that
what I
in
think
our
Redline
party?
is.
Do we?
Or a cleric
Well, you-
from Utah
Yeah,
with
Redline's
who
some
supports
future
the Mormon
crypto
God.
bro coming back with NFTs or something.
What?
Didn't that what you say? You
Remember
were?
your
You're
guy from the future.
bringing like a deck of playing cards that were some NFTs from the future, and you could. I don't know.
Was that what I said?
He
I
might
said
have been
those
under the
words?
influence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
said
you were
I'm
like an
always-
artificer or
I
something.
think yeah, you're an artificer. We made the NFT thing up, but
My character's a druid. She can
Yeah.
talk to plants and animals.
Like a Disney princess?
Yeah,
yeah,
except
Disney
like
princess.
not as eloquent as a Disney princess.
I need some Disney. I need Disney music.
Yeah, and then I think we got a paladin, and I think we got. I think
Do we have a wizard or a sorcerer?
Dominarch's a warlock, and I
Okay, that's
can't
good.
remember if Vlad. I think Vlad might be a sorcerer. Can't remember.
I'm
or
a soup
summoner?
bowl.
I forget.
Sorry, did you say a
But,
soup
yeah.
bowl?
The party
They
is
did
just
that.
completely well rounded at this point. So
I
know
heard
that has
soup
been their character.
bowl,
Like you
too.
just literally make whatever the hell you want. It'll fit. So
We need a bard. I figured Manic would be a bard.
What does a bard do?
Hey,
Just sing.
sing.
buffs.
play
Yeah,
music.
you kind
Plays
of
the
do
lute?
everything.
Like
you got
Logi
some,
with music?
You got some magic shit you could do. You could do healing. You could do
You
damage.
you have
could
a
buff
cantrip
everyone.
called
So like the guy, what's the show on Netflix that was on a video game?
Scanlan or
Arcane.
No, the
you're
guy with
thinking,
white hair, The Witcher.
Fox
Oh, Witcher.
Machina.
Yeah,
With
like
who-
the
little-
guy.
the dorky guy that follows
Yeah.
him around and sings. That's what a bard
yeah,
is.
that's the bard. He's the bard.
Yeah.
I could
Point to your Witcher.
totally do that.
Yeah, he is the bard.
I figured he would do that for like karaoke memes or something.
Yeah,
Fuck
he was a
yes.
sex crazed.
Why don't I do that?
Dog bard.
Can I do that?
halfling. Yeah.
Yeah, you
can
Scanlan
change
Scanlan
it.
was his name.
Oh
That's the
fuck! I'm
critical
doing
role.
this
you
right
want.
now. Okay, you guys do the show. I'm gonna do this.
Be a reverse centaur bard.
Yeah.
What's the name of
You
this?
have to be a reverse centaur. I love
D&D
that idea.
D&D Beyond. You'll have to go to the D&D channel and do the.
Oh yeah. There's
Well,
links
that's
in
the
there.
link to join it. If you've already joined it, you just gotta go to D&D Beyond.
I've already
log in,
joined.
so
Okay.
I think you just log in with your Twitch account. Yeah, set up at level 3, and like most everything there, you're like, oh, what does this do? You just click on it, it'll tell you. So, but anyway, what happened in the EVE Online universe?
Rich Javix tweeted a short video about Clear Skies 4.
Hell yeah, I did watch that.
A little teaser. I'll get you guys a link.
Are we
Yeah,
gonna talk
it's-
about how everyone got COVID at FanFest?
Fanvid
Yeah,
they got
2
the
is, I guess, is
fanvid.
what everyone's calling it.
There was a lot of fanvid.
Yeah, it was.
I
We
like
should do
the
a
blue
shot
fan.
to everyone not
yeah.
dying.
Hope
Speedy
everyone's,
recovery to
recovering.
everybody,
But yeah, it was
affected.
definitely a bit of a plague event up there.
In these unprecedented times.
Stop. They're
Clearly
fucking
they were all
Iceland,
making
and everybody
out, dude.
knew it.
Yeah.
They probably were.
I think Max
It-
is
it must
still
have
in
been a
Iceland.
FanFest
Isn't he quarantined
the-
there?
The
Yeah, there's a lot
traditional
of
FanFest orgy. I think that's where everybody got it.
No, you're not supposed to share that. Nobody's supposed to
Oh,
know about the
sorry.
orgy.
Sorry.
It
Sorry.
was invite only.
Nobody clip that.
You have to have your secret decoder ring to get in.
That's what the magic code is for. The secret code.
Ah, yeah. It's finding its extended value every year.
That's what it is. Yeah.
That's why they're always like, it's done. There's nothing. Stop asking.
Yeah. Trailer looked good. I'm excited to see it, but I'm guessing it's still a ways off. Did they? So I just saw the clip that Rick's posted, but did they have an estimated time when
No.
they think it's coming out?
No.
Dang,
At least not that was shown in the clip that
they should have
Rich
said
shared.
soon, like
I-
soon TM.
Maybe there was a date given at FanFest that nobody talked about, but I don't know.
I think they did a preview showing,
They
didn't
did
they?
they did a
Yeah.
preview. But yeah, I don't know if they gave a date. I would imagine if not this year, then maybe next year. They've been working on it since before 2018, I think.
Yeah, well, when they did that big marathon, the Clear Skies marathon on Twitch, that was fun as
Yeah.
fuck, by the way.
Yeah.
That's where they had Ian Chisholm, is it? I think it. Yeah.
Yep.
So they had him on there, and that they had just a little snippet. I think it's so when that clip on the Twitter thing cuts out, I'm assuming that's where that part starts, where it like kind of opens up and it's Captain
John Rourke.
John Rourke. He comes out. He's like, "Where the hell am I?" Like they showed that at at that thing. So they'd already been doing some work at that point, but I think it was still in the Kickstarter phase. But yeah, so will it be out before the Faction Warfare revamp? I don't know.
Was that a troll question?
I
Who
also
asked
don't
that?
know.
That was a troll question. Yeah,
That's
Rochambeau.
a double-edged sword right there.
that
It
was-
could
that was a
be
troll
one way or the
question.
other.
What race should my bard be?
Reverse centaur.
Cat girl.
Reverse
Reverse
centaur?
centaur.
Yeah.
What is that? Like
Top
your
half
torso's
is
on top of
horse.
the ass, or that's what.
It's horse on
No.
top, man on bottom.
I was thinking like
That's a-
reverse the
that's a
horse
Two
minotaur.
man legs or one man leg?
No, that's Minotaur.
Yeah.
No, Minotaur's a bull.
Arms and legs.
Minotaur is the bull.
It's a bull, though.
That's the
bull
bull,
body
yeah.
with the human
It's not a
legs.
horse.
No, it's
Sometimes
the
gotta be
bull
a horse.
body, but it's got.
But it's
Man's-
got two legs.
It's a
A lot of
bull
times I
head
see 'em
and a
with,
man's body,
buff.
like buff
No,
man.
a lot of times I see him with the goat leg. It's just they're just
It's
standing
it's a
upright. with-
reverse centaur. That's what a minotaur is.
I don't think so.
No, it's a
That's a
bull.
horse.
Oh my god.
Centaur is half horse.
A bull is just a male horse.
What the
It's-
fuck?
That's a stallion.
Yeah,
Like, shut the fuck.
that
God
was
damn
a
it.
stud. No,
A stud.
stud.
No, that's what they
It's a
have.
breeding. Well, no, a stud is a breeding stallion, a breeding male horse. But
No, they call that the bull.
I
I'm
don't know
I'm
what's
fucking
happening.
around. I'm fucking
Good
around.
night, everybody.
What are we doing?
No Eve Online D news.
That's it for us, everybody. Have a great night. Be sure to tip your waitress.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna push for next time. Like, I mean, once they give us cat ears and Eve, we're just gonna go for reverse centaur.
Reverse
Avatars.
centaur ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To go with our walking in station.
Did you guys see Timbre posted on his Twitter? He had like it was a Thanatos. It was a Thanatos with
Did not.
giant glass cats on it.
Yep, I saw that.
So
I
not
didn't see that
only
one.
not only could we have cat ears on our ships, but we could have entire cats on our ships.
Yep. We're tired of just asking for the ears.
We're-
want the
yeah,
whole
we're-
fucking cat now.
We're aiming too low with the cat ears. We got to
And
take it
then-
up a
Then
notch.
people are gonna ask for cat girls.
I want to be able to take a picture of my cat and then have it put on the Thanatos.
That would be cool, actually.
Did
How
y'all
many
see that?
Interbus credits do I
man,
need
they'd-
for that?
They'd have to review every single picture that got sent in, or you'd have a bunch of dick ships.
Did y'all see the
Come on,
avatar that opens up to have John McClane?
I did
the
see that
vents.
one. That
I
was a
saw
good one
that.
too.
That was a good one.
I think did he delete that one?
He did. He put it on Discord for like a second and then deleted it.
He put it back up. It's on his
Oh.
it's on his
What a
Twitter.
It's on his
Jeez.
Twitter,
What a
but
cheat.
it was on Discord as well.
It's like,
so-
is
I
he
think
that afraid of, like,
he
copyright?
should do the same thing, but have Rick Astley in the section that opens up,
Oh, man.
so you
Could
get
imagine
Rick rolled.
a Rick Astley skin on like
a
Keepstar?
Rick rolled avatar.
Could you imagine having ships and as you fly them around, they just blast music?
I talked about this with someone, like
Like
proximity
local-
chat.
Yeah, like proximity
Yeah.
chat.
That would be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine
99%
proximity
of the
chat.
time, proximity
in
chat is
Eve.
awful in any game, but there's those few diamond of the rough times where it's amazing.
If you get people that can be funny with it, it's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, so I think the best ever example I ever saw was I think it was PlanetSide 2, and this guy
Yes.
was just I wasn't even in an outfit or anything. I was just joined up with this group of people that were playing, and I started running with them. And this guy was just proximity chat the whole time, and he was just
Was it the DJ guy?
he kind of was doing DJ stuff, but he was
He's
he-
like, yeah, guys, let's go. And he like plays Ride of the Valkyries or whatever in the battle.
No, not as much that. No, this guy was doing. He was kind of playing it off as like it was almost like a Hello Vietnam type thing, where he was just coming in. He's like, "All right, ladies, sit on back in." Like we're in the Galaxy dropship. He's like, "Sit on back in there. We're gonna be in the pipe 555." It's just like going off like some radio host, just chatting the whole time, like just stereotypical like Vietnam soldier chatter. And then he would just like start playing like fucking Fortunate Son as we're dropping into battle. It's like, what the fuck? This is awesome.
If CCP can make something that rivals PlanetSide, I would absolutely love it.
Oh,
PlanetSide was sick.
yeah, that's a fun game. I haven't played it in years, but it is awesome concept.
Yeah, it's like it was funny because he was just the center point, and we didn't have to worry about people spreading out because like everyone just wanted to hear him in his proximity chat. So it was like wherever he went, there was just this blob of like people around him going with him fighting. So like he was just always protected because he had so much cannon fodder in front of him all the time. Oh, that was a fun time. Yeah, most of the time proximity chat is just people shitting on each other and being dickheads, but.
Battlefield Vietnam, you had like a soundtrack of songs that you could play, and they were all, Vietnam era Creedence and things like Fortunate Son and whatnot. And it was always awesome when either like a helicopter like flew by or like a Jeep flies across your screen and it's just blaring music.
But
Hey, do you guys like graphs?
Yeah,
I
Not
like
really.
graphs.
sometimes
I
I
like
like
pretty
graphs either.
pictures.
where the
They put out this thing every month called the Monthly Economic Report. That came out.
was there a bunch of money made?
There's graphs.
Was there a bunch of stuff mined?
Yeah.
Someone shoot
For
that.
sure.
Was there an amount of things blown up?
Somewhere. One of these. Sure. Anyways, that's out. I don't
I'm-
know.
I mean,
Is scarcity really over?
it's funny that we joke around about it. But like, there's got to be people that are excited to see that every month. I know there's
100%
people that-
there
are.
I
Yeah.
know there's people that crunch
Yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff down, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think most people don't really care, but I still like the fact that CCP does that.
This is the
You
kind of
guys-
game where some people care.
I can play bagpipes as a bard.
Oh yeah, you can play all kinds of stuff.
Do you
Dude,
know how?
no, I don't know how.
Oh, I
love-
thought you
I
were
like
like trying to
bagpipes.
find a way
I
to
love
integrate it.
bagpipes, though.
Yeah,
I
if
love
you really
I do love
want, I
bagpipes.
will allow you to just have a kazoo in there. If it doesn't exist, we'll just say it doesn't exist.
Make a
in that world.
kazoo.
Yeah.
You have to play it
Reverse
while we stream it, though.
Centaur Bard
yeah, I'll-
with the
I'll
kazoo.
go
That's
get
why
it.
I thought he brought up the
Yeah.
bagpipes. I was like, he must know and want to like play along while we're screwing around.
I mean, bagpipes as a bard can go two ways, though. You can it'll either work or it won't work.
Right.
When I did my bar,
Manic plays the bagpipes. This giant dragon is now really pissed off and
Yeah.
burns the whole
You
fucking
lose
party.
inspiration.
Oops.
Everyone.
Oh, I'm buffing my team.
Everyone
I
roll a
played,
So it
D4.
has an
Bard,
effect on the bad guys too.
and I played a recorder on stream whenever I did my bard stuff.
Can you actually play a recorder?
I know hot cross buns.
Oh no. Oh no. Who made that song? Why does that even exist?
And Mary Had a Little Lamb. That's the big one. I can play Mary Had a Little Lamb on any instrument. I taught that to myself when I was younger.
Here's a fun graph. Reserve bank thefts. Largest reserve bank
Oh,
thefts.
Ooh.
what's
And
the
it
number?
looks like they're all stolen way up north in frat space.
Of course.
Uh,
Where all the bots
Were they
Number
stolen
one-
by frat?
probably.
Probably.
LQQH TAC J, 6.1 billion stolen out of its reserve bank last month.
Yeah.
How many ships died as a result of it? I wonder.
Oh, it doesn't say that, man. It's a fucking graph. It doesn't tell me
It's
a
not a
story.
battle report.
You can
doesn't
put
give you
that statistic
context.
on a graph.
We need to hire some
Just put a
data
line.
brokers and get some more information on this.
Oz, the like market streaming guy, he breaks them down. Apparently he did it earlier today. Or no, that was on the never mind. That was on the whatever the Pearl Abyss financials report.
Right.
I mean, there's no way to really prevent it from happening, but I don't like the fact that people can rob their own bank.
Yeah,
You
it
ha-
is what it is.
you
But
have
I mean,
to do
with
it
like
all
that.
set, there's no way to stop it, and
Unless you're buying the key, though, which if you're buying the key, you're not making any ISK off of it, really, because the keys
Very
are
slow.
really. There's a lot of effort that actually goes into running them, and I say that with experience because I've
I mean, I guess
gone
there's
and
that
run
then.
those sites. Because you have to like in one night of scanning Galente Losec for like 2-3 hours, maybe find one site.
well, I mean, if there's that much work, then it's like, I mean, the ISK is the payout.
Yeah, there's certainly not just a shitload
People
of keys
make
out
more
there,
ISK
like,
doing
being
less, I
used.
guess. So
Yeah.
that's fine.
And that's just to find a site. That doesn't involve, of course, going and actually running it because you want to take like 3 marauders to go do it.
Yeah, that's true. I figured the keys were more prevalent than that, but
It's a big problem right now, in my opinion, in the game. Like I think CCP should increase the number of those sites that spawn.
you think they're doing that so that because they want the pots to be bigger for more incentive to do it, or
I think, yeah. I mean, I think they want the pots to like be growing, but at what point, like, don't we want to balance it out at some point?
Do you think maybe they've set it up so that only a certain number of keys are out at a time?
Yeah, it works kind of like Relic and data sites do. So like when one site gets done, then another one will pop up. Like there's always the same number of those sites in space at any given time, is what we've kind of been able to figure out. What'll also happen too, since they spawn in LowSec, since it's LowSec, obviously some systems are going to be safer to do it in than others. So say you get a spawn in a Keepstar system in LowSec, that's, Keepstar owned by some entity that's not your friend. You definitely don't want to be running that site in there with a couple marauders. So then the sites end up just sitting in those systems. So there have been like times where we've found 2 or 3 of those sites actually in one system, but it was a system like that.
Redline, do you want to talk about the velocity of ISK? I know that's your favorite graph.
I don't care about any of those graphs.
I thought you were all fucking hot and horny one month for the velocity of ISK. Wasn't that you?
No, that's what somebody else was talking about. It was
Oh,
Dominarch
velocity of
and-
ISK. The velocity of
Dominarch and I.
ISK.
Yeah, we had a moment.
Well, it's getting faster. So there you go.
Is that good or bad?
I don't fucking know.
Depends on which
Graph
side of
go-
things you're on.
Graph go up.
Number go up.
number go up.
Flip it upside down and it goes down.
Oh shit.
Oh dear.
My
That's how
Siege
that
Screen went live this week.
It did, yeah.
Yes,
So-
caps
Wahoo.
are so much cheaper to
So,
build.
All the capitals are suddenly blown up now.
No, they're just
I
cheaper to
mean,
build. But people are starting to be more comfortable throwing them out, so that's cool.
Yes, the stockpiles have been whittled down to a level that is suitable, which is the same level it was minus like 100 titans.
Problem solved.
Sure.
Medium structures should be easier to kill now too, if that's your thing.
Oh yeah. Do you want to go through the patch notes?
That's
So-
up to y'all. I know that is a topic of the week.
We were rude, and my alliance declared war on some poor little high-sec corp, and like RF3 of their structures yesterday, and it definitely went faster than it used to.
Was there a reason for it, or you guys just doing it?
He said they're rude. That was the reason.
Well, I mean, more rude. I honestly, we're bullying on a German high-sec corp because they put structures down in space that we consider ours.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not being rude.
High-sec?
That's being territorial. That's fine.
You have high sec that's yours, dude? You're a fucking Care Bear.
I mean, honestly,
it's
it's
more
fine to
like where
declare
it's
war
more
on
like
anyone
where
at any
we.
time.
It's high sec that borders on our low sec basically, so we try to keep the space clean and not like let a bunch of shit build up.
Oh. You're doing it wrong because you should let it build up and then you
we've
bully
done that.
them till it goes abandoned and then you kill it.
Yeah, but other people you got to get that core. Well, it's gotta get it while it's hot.
That's true.
I mean, you'll get the core either way.
If you're the one that kills it, but if you let it go abandoned, what if someone else gets it before you do?
Oh, because when it goes abandoned, then you can freely
You're the
kill
one who
it and get
forced
all
it.
the loot.
There's that.
Yeah, the core's worth less than hopefully whatever's in it.
Although I don't know, I feel like, well, it's hard to say. A lot of the abandoned ones when they added that were probably full of all kinds of stuff, but because people just left it in there thinking it was safe. But now that people know about the abandoned things, I think if they're going to actually abandon it and just give up on it, I would assume they'd take everything out of it unless they just quit playing.
There's some, well, if it's like Freeport or something, other people can't, like, they won't know. So what you do is you let them like Freeport it or something, and then let all these people build up assets, and you AWACS it.
Yeah.
That's fucking
I like it.
genius. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's Eve.
You should like pretend to be friends with them and convince them to Freeport it. Then fuck them over.
That's right.
They're already freeported.
Awful.
All that.
Actually, the funny thing about it was we can gun their structures as well because they have public on that.
Oof.
What?
Yeah, I know. But they're not smart at all, right?
Did they
Oh.
change that when the war started?
No, it was before the war, and literally while we were shooting at it, one of my guys last night was like, "Hey, I can tether on this thing." And Doc's it's like, "Hey, I can gun this thing." I'm like, what?
Did you run it out of
Okay.
ammo?
I feel like that should just automatically swap
Like,
over.
We did take the fighters from the Astra.
I mean, if someone
What?
Yeah,
That's
you just have
so
you just have
BM.
you just have someone take control.
These are some
of it,
like
abandon it,
nice
and then
young
scoop
new
it.
players.
Dude,
Don't
I thought
know
I
what they're
was
doing.
mean.
Just crushing their little
I don't know,
dreams.
like I think that should just be an automatic. I mean, I get it. You should keep track or pay attention to your stuff, but if you get officially war declared on you or declare war on someone else, vice versa, it should just automatically remove rolls from actual war deck targets.
If you make it requires conscious effort, even if you don't know what you're doing, but it requires conscious effort still to like apply public to an ACL and then put that ACL on a structure profile.
So you're telling me that somebody put down baby's first Astra House and you are fucking kicking the shit out of this child. That's what you're doing.
Sure.
I like
Call
it.
a child. It makes
It's
it sound
fine.
awful.
That's basically what they are. They're so young and
Oh.
so new that they don't know any better, that they're just, I'm thinking I'm going to play baseball on the freeway. Oh, well,
It makes me
now
feel
you're,
uncomfortable.
now look at you.
Why
You
would
should
you
feel
give
uncomfortable.
a baby an Astra House?
I mean, why not?
They
Dude,
don't know what,
Because
they
it's
don't know what they're
baby's first
doing
Astra.
with it.
they don't know what they're doing, but
Babies
all it
shouldn't
takes is
have
one
Astra
time.
Houses.
It's only medium.
You let them fall and hurt themselves once, then they learn and never do it again.
Not
Right.
with baseball on the
It's-
freeway.
We have
I mean, I'm still
I
not
know.
wrong though. They never do it again.
Play once,
Yeah.
you get hit by a car. You're not playing baseball on the freeway ever again.
that's how I learned not to stick metal things into electrical outlets.
So I learned
Right.
not to touch crock
There you go.
pots or anything else that was hot.
Trying to think of a.
What I'm saying is babies should not be playing Eve Online.
I mean, who knows?
I think
Like on the internet, no one can
too
tell you're a
violent.
dog.
It's too violent.
Guess
I
I've
think
learned
if
not to
Eve
look
can
in
be
dark
forever-
holes because someone tells me to.
if Eve can be forever, I think it can be always.
At a certain point, we're going to have to let babies play.
It's true.
If
Otherwise, no one else will want to.
well, I mean, if we want to open the game up to more people, we have to drop the T rating. Eve has to become E for everyone, so
not
that
Eve.
so that babies can play.
E for everyone rhymes
So-
with Eve for everyone.
E
That's
as
right.
in Eve.
And if they're
Is
smart,
it-
they'll market it that way.
Is it going to
You
have the
can't
little asterisk
spell-
underneath that says online interactions are not rated by the E ESRB?
You can't. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You
probably have to
can't
put
because you
that.
can't spell Eve without E, and E stands for everyone. So the
You
game
can't spell everyone without Eve.
You can't spell everyone without guys. The
Hire this
Illuminati,
man on marketing.
Illuminati confirmed.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
Eve
Hilmar,
forever. You
if-
can't spell. You can't spell. You can't
Hilmar,
spell
if
forever
you're
without Eve.
watching this show, it's time to drop the T rating. We got to open up Eve for everyone, and only then will Eve last forever.
I think we solved it. Did we just solve all the game's problems?
Dude, next week let's try World Hunger. Just see where it
Yeah.
goes.
We'll figure it out.
Just to see what happens.
I don't know how we do that, but
We'll figure it
You
out. We got a
just
whole week. Listen, we
plant-
got a whole to figure it
free
out.
ball.
Plant
I
more
was-
food.
I was actually
Just
the-
plant more food.
I got home from work
Yes.
yesterday.
You
The
use your
neighbor,
taxes for it. It's easy, Drayden.
yeah,
If
well,
you're
the neighbors were
homeless,
outside
just
yesterday
buy a
at
house.
home, and we just went over there and
Right.
sat down, was hanging out with them, and we all just kind of sat down and had a beer, and we came to the conclusion that we could solve. And again, we're not getting into politics. We could solve all the political problems in the world if we just have a few of us sit down, drink a couple beers, and brainstorm.
Eat the rich.
can
Yes,
figure
I
it
Yeah,
agree.
people have been
out.
saying and doing that for like years.
Yeah,
Not
so-
getting into politics.
No, we're not.
gets into
That's
politics.
all I'm saying about it.
We did
That's
this
just happened to
before
be what
the
we were
show,
talking about
guys.
then,
You guys
but-
said we did it before the show, not on the show.
No, we're not going to get into politics. I'm just saying. The point was that you
I
can
don't wanna
solve
get
the
into
world's
politics, but
problems
I
if you
agree,
just sit down,
Drayden.
have a beer or two, and just
Listen.
you
And we
some
eat the
buddies-
rich,
yeah,
yes,
you
I
and some
too
buddies
agree.
Just discuss
No.
whatever you want to solve. You can fix it.
You know, Thanos was right. I'm just saying.
Thanos was
Wow.
right.
Oof.
No, because he killed half
No.
50%. If you just kill the 1%, you're fine.
Okay, so then who's going to be the next 1%?
No one, because we're the 99%, which then becomes 100%, and we all live in peace and harmony, just like the
What are you
70s
talking
hippies
about?
wanted.
It was just like at the end of Fight Club.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a 1% because humans want to be under somebody.
Then we'll
It's
eat
just how-
them.
You know what, Redline?
Redline,
You know
every
what- you know what,
sub has a
Redline?
top,
That's
so
such
we
a
can
we can
patriarchal
attach
view
it.
of
Bottom?
things. That's such a patriarchal view. You because you're a man, you think you always have to be on top.
There's some power bottoms out there. I don't know.
Obviously
It's,
not.
yeah, dude, you just get a power bottom. Like, there's dating apps we can give the subs their tops and the tops their subs, and the
You know what
1% goes away.
The weirdest dating app I ever saw was it's like an Amish. Or did we talk about this already? It was like Amish online dating. It's like how do they see it? How do they get on there to fight?
That was a joke. That has to be.
No. You look on like it was. I was at my parents' house and we were talking about weird ass dating sites and there's like diaper mates and like stuff like that.
AmishOnly.com.
It's like Amish, yeah, like Amish something dating, and I was like, how do they find? Like they're breaking
Amish
the rules,
singles.
and then we kind of came to the decision that it's got to be for all the youngins on their Rumspringa, and they're just
Yeah.
going fucking wild on the dating.
The first thing they look up when they get to use the internet is
Yeah.
Amish dating.
Oh man, but
We
anyway.
have fun here.
Do you want to talk about
LB,
spaceships?
LB, you want
Yeah.
to take us back?
Yeah, no, we'll reel it back.
Speaking of
Reel
Amish
us back
dating,
in, LB.
They
What's next?
they put on an article about the Photon UI, iterating and improving. I'll put you a link to that. Hold on.
Is it less broken now?
I mean, parts of it, yes, and they're still
biggest
fixing
thing-
other parts.
The compact
the-
part of it.
Yeah, the compact thing that they were talking about here.
I'm
I-
reclaiming my space,
generally,
dude.
I like,
starting to
yeah,
take
I like,
shape.
I like the
The
compact
headline
mode.
feature being a compact UI for select windows and Photon UI. Make sure you check it out as it's shaping up to be the modern UI Eve needs as it marches towards the third decade.
But
Yeah,
So-
coming out with compact
unironically,
windows.
imagine the biggest update to your UI being making it smaller.
Making it smaller. Yeah.
We
What
want
I
to see
what
this
I
less.
hold
I
on.
mean,
What I
it's-
what I found interesting at the end of this article. Let me pull it up so I can quote it. Was something that surprised me. Right above the video at the end where it shows you how to activate the Photon UI for testing. It says, later in the summer, we will see the Neocom in Photon. Animated elements and Photon UI will transition to become an opt-out feature. So, I was wrong. I thought that CCP would just switch on this new UI and they would not allow you to opt out of it. But it sounds like they're going to make it optional, which I think this will make
Darwin's
people
what
really
we need.
happy.
Darwin listened to you and he passed it on, man.
Wow.
They're sticking
You
to their
guys
word. Yeah,
been
they
using
said
it?
that to us.
I mean, like, he wrote it, so
I've been using it. It's not bad. I like that everything is unified visually. But yeah, there is a lot of wasted empty space. So I'm really excited about the compact mode. That's what was needed most of all, I think.
yeah.
Because we don't all have 57-inch screens.
Yeah, the ultra
We do,
wides.
though. We do,
Something
right?
I
You have
don't.
phones. You
I
have
have-
phones.
I do have a phone.
So that'll work it too. Just put it really close to your face.
Oh, okay. I'll just sit really close to my monitor to make it feel like a 57-inch.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
You
Just
have
do what
gaming
I
glasses.
just do what I do and have 4 monitors.
I would like some more
Graphics card to be
monitors.
able to handle it.
There's my gamer glasses.
I only have 4 because that's the most that my 2080 can handle.
I have a 1080. I don't know if I could do 4. I mean, it might be able to. It'd probably struggle.
How many ports you got on it?
Oh, actually, I only have 3 ports, so yeah, I couldn't even do 4.
There you go.
Although, yeah, they can't have like they don't have like splitting
HDMI,
adapters
okay.
for probably not for that. I don't think they could do that.
If it's only got 3, then it probably can only support 3 anyway. Like mine's got 5 ports, but it can still only support 4 monitors.
Wait, 1080 does 4? No, I'm pretty sure mine only has. Let me look. I could.
Everybody's looking at.
I can't see the back of mine. Hold on.
Why are y'all talking about monitors? Is there
'Cause
something
this is an
happening to the
Eve
monitor?
show, and
you
in
need
the
to have
video
lots of
game
monitors.
online?
Half
A
the panel
monitor
just
is a
walked
spaceship.
off the show.
I personally would
Bro.
love to get a second
You guys want to
monitor,
see my
or excuse
cat when
me,
she gets really grumpy?
I
Yeah.
want to get a second
Yeah.
graphics card so that I can get
Hi,
a row
Tina.
of 3 monitors and have 7.
She was using claws
She
there.
looks
She's not
mad.
happy.
She
She
looks
went
mad.
grumpy.
My 6900 XT has three display ports on it and 1 USB Type C.
Mine has 4, I think.
He's right. It is 4. It's 2 HDMI, 2 DP. One of the HDMI ports still had that little black plug, so I didn't see it as an actual port.
Yeah.
The plugs, man.
Yeah.
You gotta look out for the plugs. Speaking of plugs, have you heard about
Right.
what they're gonna be plugging into the video game EVE Online soon?
You talking about that
what is it?
application everyone loves?
The Otan UI.
Did you step away from the
I was
like,
Did
what?
you,
wait,
did you just
hold on.
miss our conversation?
Oh wait, I thought he was talking about.
XL.
Yeah.
Did we just time warp a little bit back?
What happened?
It's just a step to the left.
All right.
Did we
listen,
fall into
so
a different dimension? Is this the multiverse?
Let's do the time warp again, but this time
As a
we'll
sick
pretend
reference.
that
Sick
I heard
reference,
the
bro.
entire conversation about the Photon UI. Carrying on.
Wait, so
Early-
did you hear the conversation or not?
I'm confused.
I did not.
Okay. Yes, we talked about the Photon UI,
Yep.
Welcome back, Redline.
and we are moving on.
It's funny that it
I
went
mean-
here.
I'm out of tabs. We talked about
Early-
the patch notes for like 10 seconds and then we moved on. Patch notes are
Yes.
huge. But we just
Well,
sort
they
of
are, but they were huge like a few weeks ago, right? So we talked about him, we drilled into him, and everything that came from the original dev blog pretty much came to fruition in the patch notes, with
Yeah,
the
that's a good
exception of
point.
like the wiggle on the reinforcement timers, and
Yep.
I do like that they changed the timers for wormholes, Boschman, that kind of stuff to make it a little bit easier to defend those things still.
I do think it's important to point out that it's not big news because they told us about it already, and they did put it out quite a bit in advance of them actually doing it, and they talked about like why they did that as well. I'm happy they did that, and I think that we should, encourage that kind of behavior from the company.
What do you mean, like communication?
Talk.
Yeah, just
talk
like
more. Talk more and talk sooner rather than later.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, I'd rather CCP just talk directly to me.
Well, you might
Listen.
get that chance, Redline.
Don't you have something you want to tell everyone?
Don't you have
don't,
some
actually.
news? You got some news because I got a beat queued up for you. It's what we agreed on.
Not today.
Did you accept the thing or no?
Let me consult the notes. No, it says you were going to do that today.
Yeah.
It says in the show
You're
notes.
making those notes up.
Oh no, it says right here if I am approved. Okay.
Did you not get approved, Redline?
Stipulations.
Not yet.
They don't even want you to run?
It
I mean, after that stunt you pulled with the blackout,
After
my God.
after that
You think they'll let
bullshit
you anywhere
played,
near power?
they're like, Redline, now you want to be on CSM, huh? Well, come crawling back, didn't you?
I do, and I'll bring the exact same type of attitude to the CSM with me.
It's what we need, bro. Good. It's what we need. So are you formally announcing your candidacy for CSM 17?
Once I'm approved, sure.
That's like a kind of that's a yes.
Is that a yes?
Once it's approved, yes.
All right, we'll just fix it in post. We'll take the
Redline.
yes.
There's a post?
No,
No,
Well, there
we'll
will
fix
be.
it in post,
we'll
as
fix
in
it
post
in post. Yeah.
post production.
Yeah.
There will be a post though, soon.
Are you gonna fix it in post?
Hopefully.
This is the lamest.
Are you gonna
announcement
fix it
ever.
in the post?
It's not an announcement. Everybody
We were
already
expecting
fucking
a rap
knows,
battle
dude.
or some shit.
What are we talking about?
I'm
Redline's
They're
running.
trying to make me say that I'm running for CSM because apparently it's some
Oh,
big
that's so
secret.
cool! What's your
Congratulations, Redline.
platform?
See? I'm not prepared for that question.
Redline, we're so proud that you've decided to run for the CSM. We always knew you could do it.
See that? Oh, we need that. See, this is what it's all about. Where did you get that, Elvie? We need that back.
What?
I don't know. It's an old sound.
Oh, the sound bite. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what it's
Clapping.
all about.
No?
What?
I don't get the step to the left comment.
And I
Oh.
hop to
Take
the
it
right.
back
to the
now,
left.
y'all.
I was talking about the time
Yep,
warp as
to the
well.
right.
Yes.
Oh.
And I was gonna say earlier when everybody was announcing their D&D characters and talking about stuff like that, I was gonna say, well, I'm just a sweet transvestite, and go on.
From
It's
where?
funny that
That's your
from
your
transsexual
chosen class.
Transylvania. It
Transylvania.
was just I didn't have anything yet because we haven't gone over it, but I wanted to contribute and I thought it'd be funny at the time. And then now, when we had a moment to talk about the time warp, I thought it was fun that the universe comes full circle like that.
That is fun.
It's the little thing.
Circles are fun.
That's right.
You know what else would be fun?
What?
Running for CSM 17.
Who would do that? What are
you
some
just
other
gonna
illustrious
say it? Like, you
names
just
to be
gotta
running?
say it, Redline. Just don't you have like a? any
Don't
kinda,
talk
like-
about that yet.
Oh. Okay.
Nope, it's not ready yet. The said it's not ready.
Redline, we talked.
We came in prepped for you to.
We agreed that you would wrap your announcement of your
Yeah, you're supposed to
candidacy for
rap. We had a
CSM
music
17.
video prepped. We had.
Yes, if I am approved to run for the CSM.
I thought you
by
got approved
CCP,
this afternoon.
No, I didn't. But if I am, then I will absolutely officially announce my candidacy via rap on this show.
So next week.
I hope
What
sooner
happens
than
if
that.
they
It
approve
might-
you within the next hour?
We might not be
Then,
alive next week.
If I get approved
Redline.
within the next hour, then I will do the rap. It will be less good than it would have been had I had the time to prepare for it, but I will do it.
Freestyle. I mean,
My name is Redline.
What do you mean it had the
I
time?
got sick
Yeah.
bars. I drive fast cars. Okay?
I thought you started on it like an hour ago.
Why would you drive a car? You're a spaceship.
I liked that one.
Yeah, that was
Um,
pretty well timed.
I
It
don't know,
rhymes with
it-
Redline.
There's no way they
Bedline.
disapprove you. You have
There
to be
is a
banned
way
from
they
the game.
disapprove
You're
him.
not a felon.
Well,
Or are you?
Well, that we
No,
know
you
of.
I
are
didn't
a
realize
person.
there was a. I didn't realize there was a background check.
Well, I guess I say that because there used to be back when you had to have a passport, and you can't really get a passport if you're a felon unless you go through. I mean, it's not possible, I guess, but generally they don't.
Listen, you need a passport? I'll write you a passport, okay? I can do it.
Look, this
Get you
guy.
towed by 3 p.m.
Do you have
He
the
can
Move
take it.
Online
He
pilot
can
license?
take
Give me
a
a
boat
post. Give me
wherever
a
he
post.
wants.
No ballpoint pen. I'll make you a passport right now.
This guy can take a boat wherever he wants, past any port.
I am Redline 13's doctor, and he has my permission to visit Iceland
Jesus
for a video
Christ.
game.
Hell yeah.
For a video game. Signed, Redline 13's doctor, MD, PhD.com.
See, I actually, when the CSM stuff starts coming up, now I get a little more excited because I actually enjoy watching the Aurora presentation thing, like the live.
Yeah, when
The
she's,
live
Yeah,
vote
that's
counting,
fun.
that's
she's graphing out how the
actually-
voting works.
Yeah,
Rain,
it
are we gonna
almost
do
feels like, I mean,
debates?
you can fill out brackets. Oh,
I'm
should
down
we-
for debates.
Yeah.
Again,
We gotta
like
do
did the year
debates.
before last.
Oh,
Like
yeah, yeah, no,
proper,
I think
like
we
Yeah,
do-
let's go.
Lincoln Douglas debates.
I
It'll
think
be
we do
hard for me to
interviews.
participate.
Why?
Huh?
My
Yeah, why?
availability is limited.
Dude, you got to be available for the CSM.
Wait.
You got to
That's
show
a
up,
big
bro.
part of CSM.
That's not what I mean.
That's like that's rule
Mm.
number 1 is you got to show up.
What do you mean?
I
trying to
mean that. Hold on, I have to win a fight.
So.
Redline, are you on the show or not?
All right, so the reason I say that I don't know if I can participate, I think I'll be on them. I think I can broadcast them, but I can't host them like I did before.
What?
Because if he's participating, he also can't be the host.
Right, I can't just be like double dipping like that.
Oh, the debates.
Right,
Yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah.
debates.
Okay.
Candidate cannot host the debate.
Okay.
This makes sense.
Right.
I was
Yeah.
like hosting what? What are you talking about? Okay.
Sorry, I
I'm,
may have
no,
been
I'm
saying
here.
it wrong.
It's my fault. I got
Are you on the
lost.
show or not?
Touche.
Damn.
Touche.
But yeah, no, I say we see some candidates. Speaking of the candidates, like, so Redline is unconfirmed, but gonna be confirmed, I would assume. Ithaca Hawk's running. RC Elkin's running again.
Yeah.
I'm sure Brisk will run again.
Brisk is
Yeah.
running again.
He's running, yeah.
assume
Pando.
Yeah, Pando's running.
Pando.
Here, I'm gonna post a link in chat to the forums where people have announced their
Ah.
candidates.
How
there. So
convenient.
we got, Stitch Caneland, Phantomite. Phantomite's a
Stitch
low
is on
set
my
guy,
ballot.
right?
Stitches on my ballot.
He's a snuff
100%.
guy.
Phantom
I don't know Mosi. How to say that? M-O-C-E.
Mochi. I think.
Mochi?
I-
Moss? Mosi?
Moss.
Mos?
Oh, I thought it'd be
I
Mochi.
wouldn't.
Mochi?
MOCE.
Yeah, M-O-C-E.
I'm like,
M-I-C-K-E-Y.
I don't know.
Jinx
Myphone?
DeCare.
He's a brave dude.
Yeah,
I
I've
don't know that
interviewed him.
person.
He's actually pretty chill.
Oh, maybe I do know that person.
Mouse.
Pando. We all know Pando,
on my,
right?
Yeah,
on
yeah.
my ballot for sure. 100% on my ballot.
Pando Relica.
Mif-
Initiative might
my
do too.
Myfuni Sword God.
Absolutely not.
Mifune.
I thought it was Myfoon.
It's
Mifune.
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 Myfuni.
Mifune.
Myfoon?
Mifune.
I like Unbottle the
He's-
Trottle.
he's
I
that
just
guy-
like that
Japanese,
name.
he was a Japanese military general.
Is that guy old enough to travel to other countries on his own, like unsupervised from his parents?
You can get a note from your mom, I think.
He's
makes
20.
You guys are being mean.
I'm just playing.
Unbottle the Trottle.
I like
Is that
the
his
name.
name or is that the name of his campaign?
That's his
It's either
campaign.
I
way.
think that's
That's
the name.
fun.
Oh.
It's tr-
That's the dude that uses slurs.
Oh,
at
yeah,
times.
these
I'm
are
gonna
like
be
the name-
shocked if he
these are
makes
the
it
slurs
in.
names, 'cause, yeah, like, Fourth and
that's
Outbursts.
that's the white supremacist Bomber Spar guy, right?
Wait, who
What?
is?
Probably, yeah.
All I know is he said my campaign is gonna go there and tell them everything's shit. Blah blah blah.
Wait,
this is
who-
shit.
who
Your
is
ideas
this?
are shit, and
Unbottle
like
the
nothing's
Trottle?
useful.
Who are we
Trottle.
calling a
Oh.
what?
The
Sounds like an
campaign
awful
people are
campaign.
saying
Oh.
unbottle the Trottle because they
Oh,
want him to
that's,
go and tell
I-
CCP to fuck themselves, as though that's
I
productive for any of
think
this.
I think that instead you should send somebody that will tell them to fuck themselves nicely, and in a way that gets things done.
Okay, so Guy Incognito say that Trottle's not the
He's
other
not
thing.
that
It's-
guy,
It's
pal.
another guy.
I'm not trying to show bias
Oh, it's
too early,
another
but the
guy.
guy put out
It's a
a
different guy.
Oh, the other guy.
Now fourth out. So Brisk is running again. So Brisk and Pando. I have a feeling that Initiative probably gets 2 people on CSM this year. I'm sure Brisk will be.
surely.
I mean, if you want to look at it like that, sure. I don't. Look at
I'm
it
just-
like
I'm
that
just-
anymore.
I mean,
doing-
block candidates, yeah.
Yeah, I'm throwing out early predictions, and generally the Imperium is gonna get. They're guaranteed to get 2. Their top 2 block candidates are gonna make the CSM. Like
They're not
Probably.
I don't-
guaranteed anything.
it's not guaranteed
Because
anything, but
53% of
there's
players in the game just started in the last 4 years. Anything
know,
can happen.
I know, but the thing is, they have enough members in their thing. I mean, when you look at the number of votes
Do
that go in
they?
that get people a win, they have
Yes,
enough members in
Redline,
their
they do.
alliance to just.
I'm not sure
get
why
that
this
win.
is up for contention with you. We've seen this for like 10 years.
Yeah,
they
I'm
know
just
how
saying,
to
like,
vote.
it's-
They know how to
it's-
organize their vote. That's not a concern. Nobody
Technically,
thinks there's going to be some like crazy new outcome this year.
technically, you don't have to have a single Imperium candidate win, but realistically, they're gonna probably get at least 2, and it's gonna probably be their top 2, and I bet Brisk and Pando are their top 2. So I'm just saying that. High Wanto though, isn't that guy like a super toxic troll?
He's a snuff guy, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's like the leader of Snuff, isn't
I
it?
remember last time he ran, he was pretty fucking toxic. But
Oh, I don't remember him.
Torvald, I like Torvald a lot.
Oh yeah, he ran a couple years ago, and he did the faction warfare. Him and Phantomite
Yeah.
were on CSM 15 together, and they did the faction warfare presentation to CCP. Which, shockingly enough, CCP's now doing a faction warfare update.
Weird. Weird
I
how
think he
that
mentioned that's part of why he wants to come back and like try to, be a part of getting it all finished.
Yeah.
A lot of people
know.
saying they'll come back with CSM.
Steve Renukin. We like him, right?
He's
I
been on
think we do.
CSM like I think the
Forever.
most.
God, he's
That
he's an
Buzzword-
old timer.
Third party dev, like real good.
Right.
That's why he gets on. He's usually independent because like I said, he does third party stuff, but that he gets a lot of support from a variety of groups because of
All
how good his
bases, yeah.
stuff is. Yeah.
Is that Fuzzworks or am I thinking of someone else?
Yep, that's Fuzzy Works. Fuzzy
Okay.
Steve.
Yeah, Steve's back. Nala Queen, I don't know. Nala Queen?
Am I just like the
Oh, wait,
least
whoa,
qualified
I
person in the list of
scrolled down.
people?
I don't know, Redline. You've gotten change from CCP more than others can say.
That's true. There's a lot of people on here who've never had anything interaction wise with CCP.
I mean, I did have a lot of cool partner stuff.
Sorry, I'm typing. Or I guess I just say it. No, Guy Incognito. It wasn't from CSM. Now I'm thinking about it. It was some shit that they were doing against Sixth Empire, and Haiwanto was saying some shit there. So he was shit talking, and that's why I was thinking he was like being toxic. It wasn't for CSM.
Yeah,
it
they
was
killed
for-
the Space Pope's
It was
Keep
for like
Star.
it was for the Space Pope Citadel.
Why would
But they were
Haiwanto
killing-
do this?
The Children's Orphanage in
Basically a monster.
Bascaran. That's what it was. I remember. I was
Yeah.
there. I tried to defend
Yeah.
that structure.
Are there any more Freeport Keepstars even left now?
A
Yeah,
Mamake.
there's and Ojin, isn't it?
That's right. Well, but the Amamake one is linked to stuff.
No.
I think it's still linked to people who would love to hunt your super dump.
At best, they utilize third parties, but if you asked anyone like 4 years ago, they would have said PL. It's a group of dudes who just kind of like Tick, I think, feels
Yeah,
it.
I
He's-
remember who owns it. Yeah, it's the guy who owns it is an ex Wrecking Crew guy.
Did we get to Kismeteer yet?
Kismeteer was an
No.
old PL dude,
Yeah,
moved
he's
to
the-
Horde
he's the-
because he
so-
kind of retired.
He's the guy that always did
Backcountry.
the Big Lebowski cosplay stuff at the beat-ups. I don't know anything about him other than that, but fun dude to fucking hang out with. I know that, but as far as his platform, I have no clue.
And yeah, it's Blue Melon. Yeah.
I'm assuming Kiss is going to be for Horde, so probably has a Horde ballot.
Could be.
Like some more block candidate. That's my assumption, though.
Some of these stopped forced participation in human trafficking.
Is that a name?
That's just the name of a
No.
post.
That was I
mean, that
it's from
might be-
February, and it's a post about how male exotic dancers and female exotic
I
dancers
figured
are
it was like some
considered
RP thing. Yeah.
livestock in the game. So
Right.
the only way to get rid of them is to sell them, human trafficking, or trash them, murder.
Oh.
So they want it removed from the game.
Seems like a weak platform, but
Could you imagine? No, like, so you know how they're
Wait,
doing the
It
allegiance
wasn't
system?
really a platform. It was just them asking CSM to ask CCP to get rid of those things.
Okay.
Well,
Gotcha.
they're doing
I
the
was
new
gonna say-
allegiance system. So imagine like you release them, you like right click set free or something, and then like you get
Get LP.
allegiance. Yeah, you get allegiance or LP with a faction. That'd be super cool.
that would be pretty neat, actually.
Ooh.
Earn some interbus credits that way.
Oh, I just had an idea.
I just threw up.
What was that noise? Why?
'Cause he said enter bussy credits, dude.
Uh huh.
There it is.
Disgusting.
Gets me
man.
every time.
Yep, I was waiting for it.
Freaking space pixel cryptocurrency bullshit.
Why is that? Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
Then why do you say it?
Oh no, I thought you meant why do I think that CCP's doing that?
No, why do you think it's crypto?
Because that's literally like look at it. The interbus credit was
Okay, that
literally
reminds
gonna
me of the
be-
scene from Idiocracy where they're in the
cryptocurrency.
fucking where they're in the hearing and the guy
Look at 'em.
goes, first of all, look at him.
He talks funny.
Good one.
No,
yeah.
but look, no. So look at the interbus. Look at the interbus credit, right?
Yeah. Okay.
As you're looking at it, you can see that it is clearly a place where before it an NFT stood.
Objection hearsay.
Probably. That's just like my opinion, bro.
You asked the question.
You're not alone. Nice, Rain. You're not alone in thinking this, Redline. The interbus credit thing does feel kind of like a rebrand of what they were going to do with NFTs. And we even kind of talked about it on the show, Redline, you and I, a couple of months ago when they took down the Retriever pack, and
Mhm.
I believe it was CCP Swift put up the forum post that kind of explained the situation as like, and he made mention that what we want to do in the future is work with players to, you know, have them produce these items that we would then resell, and we want to find some way to work with players and compensate them in some way. And you and I, Redline, we made the prediction that they would pay players in NFTs to do this stuff.
Gosh.
And now we've got interbus credits. So you're not alone
Golly.
in thinking that the interbus credit thing is kind of a rebranding of what they were planning to do with NFTs.
It just feels so tinfoily to me. I don't know.
How does
Hey.
it feel tinfoily? Open your eyes, right?
They're very
I
Open
don't-
open.
your
I don't
eyes.
think it's-
Let's begin, okay?
I will accept that it does sound tinfoily, but I think this is well within the realm of possibility as far as tinfoil goes.
I guess my thing would be that, I mean, would they redesign and do all this work before they even made a commitment that they were going to be getting into the NFT Bitcoin or crypto thing? Because you think that, like, they'd make a decision, we're going to do the crypto thing, we're blockchain, whatever it is, we're going to get on it, and then that's when they start making the changes, I would think.
Did you forget what kind of company makes this video game?
A video game company?
I slammed it.
Yeah,
Company.
a company full of coders and analysts and
I-
marketers.
Yeah,
it's, a
company-
it's a board game company that happened to make a good video game
That's
for
right.
a while.
That's true.
And the person at the head of it really likes crypto. So if you just look at it,
Would you look at it?
really look at it, you can see very plainly what it is. It's crypto scam, bro.
Time will tell.
I think
But there's
Until
no
then,
way,
people are being too
Stop.
paranoid.
How
Some
hard
people
is your
are being
sky
too
falling?
paranoid
Well,
about the.
there's
the-
no way for you to
Here's
put
the
your
thing.
money in. There's no way to get your money out. So how is it a crypto scam? It's forcing you to
Okay,
play
It's
EVE Online.
not.
What a
It-
fucking scam.
It is not.
Holy
It's
shit.
the
It is
empty
not
title.
crypto. It feels like this is what their crypto thing was supposed to be.
And that's
Right.
okay. It's
Yeah,
fine,
well,
you
like
know?
it's
But it's
fine.
not a crypto
Like,
thing, though.
If those are two options,
Oof.
having
Look at that
whoa,
wall, though.
Caldari Prime Pony Club with the fucking gifting 20 subs to
Hot
the
damn.
community.
Thank you,
Shit,
good
man.
sir.
He said, "Hey, fuckers, come back and watch this sometime."
Jesus.
Thanks, homie.
Yeah,
thanks,
thanks,
man.
bro.
Hot damn.
Also,
Okay. Shook
Shook it.
What the fuck was I saying? God damn
Right.
it.
You're talking about crypto and
I don't know,
Okay,
we're
okay.
distracted,
So
but if
given
we
the
continue
two
down
options,
this line of
hold on.
conversation,
Wait. So given the two
we're gonna
options,
unveil my platform.
given the two options, if it's
That's on you.
either if our options are either have NFTs in Eve and have players be paid in NFTs and going down the crypto blockchain bullshit in our video game, if that's option A and option B is Interbus credits, I'll take Interbus credits in a heartbeat. Like it's not ideal, it's kind of weird, but I would rather this than NFTs, really. Hi, Delana.
Hello.
hey, Delana.
Oh yeah, Eve Nola's in 28 days.
Nola in 28 days.
So like I'm with
Nice.
you, Manic. But I will say that when I first started playing Diablo 3, selling a Wind Force for $125 was pretty dope. Just saying.
What?
Well, and here's the thing. We can take comfort in the knowledge that historically CCP has announced a lot of things at FanFest that never made it into the game. So it is entirely possible that the IBC stuff will never make it into the game.
I feel like
And then this whole
Wow.
conversation will be a moot point.
I
That
feel
is-
like that's not going to
Ooh.
happen. That's like Interbus credits are coming. That's how I feel.
I'm sure. Yeah. I'm just
the three
you
three
know,
big
just
things
talking
that they
my ass.
announced: the heraldry, the faction warfare changes, and the allegiance fucking system, and the arcs all rely on people wanting to earn Interbus credits, right? The way they're going to release content now is through the arcs. So if you don't participate in the stupid fucking storylines they bring out, like these Capsuleer Day events and stuff like that, if you don't participate in them, the story doesn't progress. If the story doesn't progress, the new things don't come out.
Bullshit.
Oh.
I don't
Allegedly.
think that's
Allegedly.
not true.
That's
Allegedly.
that's what they
Manic.
said it was going to work.
Manic, I need you to know
I-
that I saw you and I appreciate that you and I have the same thought with the thing bouncing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, I get that encourages people to do stuff, but at the same time, man, that's risky though to do it like that though. Because either there's gonna be a lot of stuff that doesn't come out then, or you're just gonna have to force it out like the Triglavian, you know. I mean, it's still kind of. I guess it's not confirmed, but a lot of people are just like, it was gonna happen this way regardless of how the Triglavian.
Pochman was going to happen, but the systems that became Pochman weren't determined by the players.
Okay.
But so ultimately,
What do you mean they weren't determined by the players?
They were.
Ultimately,
They
the
were
resu-
determined by the players.
Ultimately, the result of the invasion was the same, regardless of
The
regardless
result,
of
yes. Impact, no.
the well.
Also, no.
No. Hold on. Regardless of player participation, Pochvin was going to happen. CCP
Yes.
decided that it would happen.
But the
And
impact of
Scar.
it would
Why
be different.
are we saying the same thing?
Well, yeah, Redline, you and I
Yes.
think are saying the same thing.
I think we were saying the exact same words at the same time. The impact would be different.
You guys are twins.
It's kind of cool. It's pretty dope. Anyway, the impact would
It's
have been
pretty dope.
different. The impact would have been different because imagine if Niarja didn't flip, then the connection between Amara and Jita wouldn't be so long now. Like
Right.
the
So why
players
did
It's
Niarja flip?
short. It's so short if you go through Abazon, though. Just
go
saying.
through Abazon, the freaking salt generator.
I love that
stand-up
system. I
fighters.
love that system.
Dude, I was just passing through in a shuttle the other day. I saw mass murder and I was gone.
So why did Niarja flip then?
Because we
Because
wanted it to.
Right.
Niarja
The players decided it was going to flip to Pochvin, so it happened.
Yeah,
flipped
exactly.
because it was being heavily used as a supply line during World War B2, and
it's been a
goons
supply
decide
line
and
between
oh, but they were
Jita and
actively
Amar.
they were at or between excuse me, yeah, between Jita and Amar, they were actively using it as their supply line because that was the big supply line. So when the opportunity came along to put their finger on the scale and take that away, Goonswarm did.
but at the same time, it may have been a tactical thing for the war, but I still feel like it would have happened even if it wasn't a supply line for the war, because it's the major Jita to Amar route.
But the only reason
severing that would, I feel like it's just something that Imperium would be like, yeah, let's fucking do it, just because it's gonna shake shit up and piss. I mean, not just to piss people off, but it's gonna shake shit. I mean, it threw all kinds of shit out of whack as far as logistics and high sake.
Let's do this game and watch the puppies cry.
shots from Niarja.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like, I mean, sure, that the tactical thing for the war could have been a reason, but I have a feeling that's not the reason. I think it was just, oh, Niarja's up for invasion? Imagine how big that would be if that flipped to Pochvin.
Well, yeah, it was part. I'll accept that it was part of the thinking in that moment based on what was going on, but they could have reached the same decision in a different, scenario.
So with the absence of a tactical reason to do it, with the absence of Imperium wanting to sever that tie between Jita and Amar, or cut off that supply line, what would drive the Imperium to do, or any other group, to participate in something like an invasion scenario or a Pochvin or
in high sec too?
Some other story.
Absolutely
Middle high sec invasion
nothing.
scenario.
That's the problem, LB. Is that CCP is going to try to implement these arcs exactly like they implemented the invasion. Maybe they'll make some tweaks here and there, but they absolutely need to do it right. Because people didn't really participate in Pochvin. They didn't know what the stakes were.
What if the only way for you to get Alliance skins was for you participating in these storylines?
Absolutely, 100% people would not do it.
Nope. Okay, sure.
It's people can.
Is that their plan?
I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Yes.
That's
No,
how they're
the
giving out
plan-
alliance
no.
skins.
They're
The
they're
plan is not
gating.
to use arcs for alliance skins, as far as I understood. The alliance
not
skins come
understanding.
from heraldry, which is purchased through interbus credits that are earned.
How do you earn interbus credits?
From activities in the game, such as kill,
Like
chin,
participating in
Capsuleer.
the fucking stupid things.
I mean, maybe, yeah, but not
But you
exclusively.
can-
So it's interconnected.
You can, but
It's
No,
like an
CCP
ecosystem,
literally
isn't it?
said
It's
that was
interbus.
going to be the reward to encourage people to do
Yes.
the arcs.
Yes.
but you can get interbus credits through other means, right?
I think so.
Yes. You can.
So okay, then that's a horse of a different color. If you're telling me the only way I can get interbus credits for alliance skins or ship skins or whatever for heraldry shit, if you're telling me the only
don't
way I can do it is by participating in these predetermined story arcs, that's bullshit.
I don't think we watched the same stream.
There are several different ways for you to get interbus credits. One of them is by participating in the ARC storylines.
Okay.
The ARC storylines are what they're going to use to drive new content releases. So, like with the capital shipbuilding blueprint changes, how they had that whole storyline of the Caldari being a victim of espionage, and then the Guristas running away with all the info, right? And you had to go out and find the researchers. Imagine if that blueprint change didn't come out because somebody didn't turn in the researchers. Or imagine you took a researcher to JITA and you sold it for 4 billion ISK on the market instead of the 1 billion ISK you would get by turning it in. That's delaying the blueprint changes, right? That's what they're trying to do. The ARCs drive content releases. They want you to participate in the ARCs. They reward you with Interbus credits for doing so. You participate in the ARCs by declaring your allegiance for a faction, one of the 4 empires, or a pirate faction, perhaps. Because you've declared allegiance, that determines what sort of missions you would get for these ARCs to drive the storyline in one direction or another. The whole thing is interconnected. Nothing stands on its own. It's the same thing with BRM and ESS. The two are interconnected. Nothing stands on its own. I don't know why people look at the IBC and they just go, that's all by itself? That's a crypto scam? Ugh.
It is by itself because
It
you
is
can
by
get
It's
it
not by
without.
itself.
You don't have
can't-
to participate in the arcs to get it. You can get it through other means.
And you can't trade
What are
it.
the other means?
By selling ships and modules and shit for
Yeah,
Interbus credit.
so Mimosa. Now this
That's
is the
literally
thing.
how
Mimosa
But what,
is saying that you
But
but
hand
what
ships-
about that makes it crypto anything?
It doesn't make it
Oh my-
crypto.
It doesn't
Fucking
make
God.
it crypto.
It makes it just a
Jesus
separate,
Christ.
different type of currency.
Listen,
that
listen
it's
for
different than
3
ISK, different
seconds.
than Plex, but it's a
Do you have
currency.
any idea? I am
3.
completely blasted right now, and I cannot explain this any more clearly. Okay? We're not saying that it's a crypto scam. We're saying that it's what's left over of a crypto scam that was taken out behind the shed and taken care of.
Oh,
Do
okay,
you
but
know what I mean now?
if they're taking the
So then what does
name
it
of the if they're taking the name of the currency that might have been a crypto thing, that's, I mean, who cares really if it's not actually a crypto thing? But
No one cares. It's just
I need you to
interesting.
explain it like I'm
I feel
5.
like you might.
How this is the
Okay.
leftover remnants of a crypto currency.
All right, imagine
thing.
this. So the NFTs for the Alliance tournament, what was that blockchain that shit was on? Like,
I don't remember.
Tezos.
Some obscure
Dogecoin.
Tezos. Yeah,
It wasn't
Tezos. It's Tezos for the purposes of this
crypto
conversation.
bucks.
It's Tezos. Okay.
Worth
Tezos.
noticing,
So
they're all
let's
over
say-
the
Never
place
heard
right
of
now.
it. Not important.
So let's say that instead of getting an Interbus credit, or you do get an Interbus credit, but that Interbus credit is also registered on the Tezos blockchain. That suddenly becomes a cryptocurrency, and its value is based solely on what people want to pay for it. Right? It's stupid. It sounds awful. It sounds like something that people wouldn't want to engage with. That's why they're not engaging with it. But if you look at these Interbus credits and you don't see the possibilities, where like, hey, look, you built the ship in EVE Online and you got this credit that's worth 0.001 cents. Look at you go, playing to earn. Like, come on, dude. And then you take those currencies and you can trade them in for the other stuff, sure. But that's
You can
it's
replace
screaming
IBC with anything.
Yeah.
ISK. You can do that with ISK.
you can replace it
You can do it
with
with Plex.
everything is a
So the whole game,
cryptocurrency,
the
man.
whole the
ISK
fucking
is literally the
cryptocurrency.
definition of a cryptocurrency, bro.
No,
It's a
cryptocurrency
crypto-
So why,
is something that's
why
based
are
on a
we
blockchain.
why are we
That's what a
upset about IBCs then?
Who's upset? I think it's dope.
Wait, I'm saying, like, am I wrong though? Isn't a cryptocurrency something that's completely based on a blockchain system? So if this isn't based on a blockchain, it can't be crypto. Unless I'm wrong.
Bro,
I'm not.
it's
I'm
all-
not a. I'm
it's
not
all
a
crypto.
crypto.
Here's
don't know
why
that much
everything's
about it,
crypto,
but-
right? What is cryptocurrency? It's a digital currency. What is ISK? It's a digital currency. Can you
Right.
trade your country's currency for that digital currency? Boom. You're dealing in cryptocurrency.
That's not
It's-
how it works.
It's how it
That's
works.
super
What is
simplified.
the
It
process?
is
It
a
is
digital
super
currency, but I think
simplified.
crypto, like actual crypto, is more defined that it's based on blockchain.
Of
Like,
course,
that's the
it
whole
is
point of
more
it,
defined
so-
by that. I'm just
I
saying
don't
it's a
know.
digital currency. It all
I
rules
think-
around the
I think
same.
this is what.
But I
I
could
think there's a
see
subset,
IBCs
there's a
being
subset of
NFT.
people who just want to see the terribleness in everything, and they won't look
No,
at something
I
for
think-
face value. And every
I
time
think
they
the
look at
IBCs are
something that's being
cool.
changed, they go, that's some shady shit." But
Bro,
if it's
no.
shady, it's not. It's just a fucking
I-
IBC. It's not that big a deal.
I think the Interbus credits are very cool. I think being able to get Alliance skins and heraldry and all that fun stuff by participating and actually playing the game is dope, right? I'm totally cool with that. I also don't care that it looks like what the cryptocurrency could have been, because it isn't a cryptocurrency. I just think it's interesting that it looks like it could have been. Like a repurposed idea, recycled. And I don't have a problem with that. I just think it's interesting. Is that okay?
We're just talking. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
just
a
yeah,
couple-
we're
Thought we
don't
were
have to
fighting,
argue.
dude.
Couple guys
don't have to
joshing
really
around.
This isn't
We
Trash
don't
Talk
have
Tuesday.
to fight. But look, I tell you what, if you want to get involved in the next best crypto, I've got your plug.
I don't want that.
Yeah, no.
All I
so-
hear is crypto's failing.
So the one thing, so the most in chat was saying that you could trade ships in for the Interbus credits, and they're going to use
Yep.
those ships to then sell in the packs, right?
Make sure when you say they're going to use those ships, you do the air quotes because you're on camera.
Well, I mean, if
You
you,
just do the air
give
quotes,
you're gonna
CCP
sell
a
them.
ship and they give you Interbus credits, and then as long as they only are able to sell the ships that they've gotten. So I mean, if they're only given, let's just say 50 ships, and then they sell 60 of those ships, then yeah, there's a problem because they've sold ships that weren't built by players that didn't exist.
But we'll never know.
Good old internal affairs.
I mean, if I don't know, hope
How would we know?
if they
All
do
we
some
can
kind
do
of
is
like
hope.
a transparency
can
thing
do
where
is
they maybe they put in the MER, like this is how many ships were donated to or given, not
It's not a
donated,
good
but
idea.
like traded in for Interbus credits, then you would know. Ships and modules and all that stuff. The only
Redline
thing
makes a
though
good
is
point.
so now because that was one of the things I was questionable when they were talking when they got rid of the pack that they're selling for money, and they were talking about how they wanted to start supplying ships for money to new players, but they wanted to make sure that those ships were produced by players in the game, so it was not them just generating ships out of thin air. And I was curious, like,
So-
where are those ships going to come from? They're going to get them from the players, but are they going to buy them from the players for ISK, buy them for Plex, buy them for what? So now it's Interbus credits.
Yeah, so this
Um,
makes a clear bridge, and it's great. And we did talk about this, and I think we predicted this kind of a thing on this show, me and Manic did. But I think the most important thing is that, okay, well, you can tinfoil for this. So the most important thing about this, and this is actually a part of my platform, right, is that this information needs to be
Platform for
transparent,
CSM 17.
right? This information, we need to be able to see this information, so it needs to be on the MER. How many ships were traded in and how many ships were traded out.
Yeah.
We need to see it so that we can make sure that the integrity of the sandbox is still there.
And then you have to keep
I
track
don't
of
think
the
there's
differences
anything
too.
that
Important
they-
to people.
I don't think there's anything they could show us that would convince everyone. Because the MERs have
You're
been
right.
wrong plenty of times as well.
Uh,
Like
Honestly, like
But
when it comes to
data's
that kind of
only
stuff,
as good as
its input.
they say like this is what happened, and you can either believe them or you don't. I mean, I
Don't
don't
get me
think
wrong,
they're
I would
gonna-
love to
they're
know
not
that
gonna
they were
open up
tracking
the
it
e
and would show.
vlogs for everyone to go,
Right,
mine
I'm saying
through,
maybe
but-
they just release that to the CSM. So that the CSM can go
Yeah,
through
that's
it,
fine.
make sure it's on the up and up, and report back.
Implying
mean-
the CSM can read, dude. You have a lot of faith.
Oof.
I
I
don't
can
know if
read.
Wow.
You're so optimistic, Rain.
If
I love
elected
it.
to the CSM, I will be the first one that can
I don't know if I would be.
That's a good thing to put
so
on
into it
your-
where I need to go
on your
like,
yard sign.
I'm not
Exactly.
interested in auditing CCP on the ships that they're doing. With
I
the-
would love to audit
with
CCP.
the,
God, dude.
with the Interbus thing. I'm just saying.
Rain.
You know,
I'm an
it-
auditor
am.
IRL, dude.
That's what
So
she
much fun.
I know.
It's so funny.
Like
Guys.
the term audit comes, it's like audit CCP. Rain's like, oh
Her
yeah.
eyes
like,
light up.
Oh yeah.
What's crazy is that New Eden Post has
The
been
audit
around
thirst.
for 2 years now. Sorry, that's a distraction. I'm just on Twitter and I saw it.
Congratulations, dude.
Hey.
But well, yeah, so I was saying like I'm not interested in audit as long as CC. I mean, if they say, hey, this is how we're doing it, and we're holding to it, I'm gonna take them for their word on it because I don't really. Because I'm not so
You don't
invested. That I
care.
need to
Was
go. It's not that I don't care.
No, you don't, and it's fine.
completely.
You don't
It's just
have
that I'm
to.
not so. I'm not invested in it enough to really find out if they're, getting, dotting every T or dotting every I and crossing every T type of thing. It's, you know what?
Was it
I trust them that they'll, if they say they're going to do it, they're going to probably do it. And if they don't, well, then I guess they're not.
what was it where people got audited? And it basically meant like taken out.
Enron?
My mind,
No.
There was a
Freddie Mac.
movie.
I was thinking either Blade Runner or The Matrix, but I don't remember what that phrasing is from.
Freaking Repo Man, dude.
Is that what it was?
Did they?
There was a
Probably.
movie called The
I didn't see
Accountant,
Repo.
and he was
That
actually
was
a hitman.
really good with Matt Damon, or no,
Ben
Ben
Affleck.
Affleck. Yeah, that was really good.
Matt Damon.
Matt
That one was about like
Matt Damon.
Do you know why they made his
Daniel-
character talk like that in Team America?
Damon.
Because every time they made the little marionette to try to make it look like Matt Damon, it just looked mentally handicapped.
Matt
Oh.
So they were just like, they were like, fuck it, he's mentally handicapped.
I love
Oh,
that. You know
no.
the
That's
where-
so
Sometimes
big.
you just gotta lean into it.
Yeah, you know when they were the puking scene in the alley where like the dolls like
That was
and
so
starts, like, blah, blah, blah,
funny,
blah, blah.
dude. I
That-
lost my shit.
Yeah,
in
like
the
everyone
theater
thought it
when
was
I
so
saw
hilarious. It was not supposed to do that. The doll was just supposed to do like a normal puke, and then the doll malfunctioned because I think some of the electronics got fucked up, and so the doll started like spazzing out, and they're like,
That is
"No,
fucking
we're gonna
hilarious.
keep this. This
Keep
is
it.
hilarious." So they're like, "This
Keep
is
it rolling.
It,
Can
yeah, it's
someone
like
in
the
Yeah,
doll
keep
fucked
rolling.
up, and they're like, "Keep that. We'll use it. It's so good."
Can someone in the chat tell Will to calm down, please?
Matthew.
There's a reason those guys are worth like
There's no way
Matt's
to calm
$1
it
million.
down.
Matthew's always
Also,
shitting
CCP
up
Darwin
our
has
chat.
entered
No,
the
no,
chat.
because Caldari Prime Ponying Up. So Tamber said someone mentioned yesterday that people were heckling / harassing CCP Aurora during her faction warfare presentation.
Who?
And then it
Hope
goes,
not.
this didn't come through on live stream, which I agree because I watched it and I didn't hear it at all. Were people not into it? And I don't know. Everyone's been begging for a faction warfare update.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
aren't excited about that, you can go fuck yourself, dude.
I just don't like hecklers. Period.
And if
It's like-
yeah, I mean, fuck. Were people actually? I didn't hear anything on the stream. Were people
I
Yeah,
don't
I
heckling
feel like anybody would pay to go to Iceland and then heckle
and then
at a
heckle?
round table.
Yeah.
Even nerds don't have the balls. Let's be honest.
Literally,
There
the
were
only
people
thing.
who
They're there
paid
for a
to
good time.
go to not attend anything.
Yeah, my
And
thing is, like,
just,
you know, like,
yeah.
if
be
you're
an
not enjoying
NPC.
something, why are you there? Like,
Also,
if you're not
CCP
enjoying the
Aurora is,
presentations, go elsewhere. I'm sure there's bars or places you can go hang out and do other stuff. I mean,
And
But
like,
you know
I mean,
what though?
they're there to
Sorry.
put on a show, right? They're
you can
they're
voice your
doing their
concerns later.
they're doing their job.
I
Yeah,
don't-
like
I don't know.
oh, that shit bugs me.
Aurora is like widely
So,
liked too. Like I
right.
don't see it.
Here's a funny thing about the faction warfare revamp that they were talking about. I literally had this idea like a month and a half ago. I know they had it a long time before me, but I just think it's interesting that I came up with the same thing they did with the battleground systems. It looks like a very cool way to do like system control, maybe even a nullsec.
Mm-hmm.
Now
So
So
this
sovereignty
is
changes. Is that what you're
tinfoiling.
saying?
The way that they're looking at doing like the battleground systems. It's on
The
the,
front-
I think
The
the
frontline
Faction
very-
warfare?
systems, and then the
Yeah, the frontline systems and everything. I call
yeah.
them battlegrounds. Sorry, that's what my idea was.
Dude, Darwin says the reaction was positive, so that's at least good. Hopefully that means no hecklers. About to start throwing
It wasn't
hands.
like
people
Reddit Live.
Oh, thank God.
It's good to see our corner pointed CCP dev back in the chat.
yeah. Darwin's
I
been
need
gone
a
for a
new
couple
one.
weeks.
I need a new one. We got to do shots to CCP Signal.
Yeah,
I don't know if
oh,
we did
man.
them. I don't know if we did them yet, but we got to do them.
Who was here last week? He came on.
Dragon?
Was
Yeah,
it-
CCP Dragon.
Yeah, man, he came on. He hung out for quite a while.
So Signal left CCP, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
CCP Dragon did a lot last week because he did Astrothy stream both days, and then last
Yeah.
Friday he came.
Dude,
through
he
with us
pulled like
as well.
a very late day that day.
Well, yeah, he came over.
Yeah.
It was
he
the
was
wee hours when he was hanging out with us.
Yeah, he was hanging out on Astrothy's thing, and then Astrothy hosted us, and then he came over or rated, and he came over with that, and then he just kind of stuck around for a bit, and then asked if he could come on, and he came on. He just hung out for like 2 more hours.
Yeah, definitely into the wee hours. What a cool game.
Eve?
I was, mostly just being silly, but I do like that, their devs will come hang out with people.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. You don't see that often.
Yeah, the vid. Yeah, I think Vlad escaped the vid.
God, yeah, that's so funny.
I mean, it's one of those things, right? You have people from all over the world
It's
all
bound to
coming
happen.
and all coming and getting real close to each other. It's bound to
Real close. Is that what we're calling the orgy now?
Not supposed to
Not
talk
allowed
about
to talk about
it. Yeah,
it.
yo,
Gonna
I'm
get
not in the
kicked out.
cabal. I can talk about anything I
yeah.
want.
We call it we call it a round table. Like that's that's the
That's what the breakout sessions
yeah.
are.
But yeah, no, it's I mean, when you pack that many people that close together from all over the whole globe, I mean, yeah, you're gonna.
And
You're
apparently
gonna
they weren't
have,
showering.
You're gonna
either.
have some. I mean, what was it Vegas last year? I think there was some people that came away with COVID. So I mean, it was.
I
there.
thought it was just one.
There's one.
Was it one?
There's like one
Oh.
break-
It was
case.
from what I heard, it was one person, and it was the day that he got it because he got stuck in an elevator with someone who had COVID when
Oh.
Circa lost power that day.
Oh, okay. I thought a
Does
few
that
did, but I
translate
was like,
to,
it
like,
wasn't
went out and got a
widespread.
hooker?
But this Eve meetup, it definitely was like I called it a plague event. There's like 40 or 50
Flu Fest.
people. Yeah, Plague Fest 2022.
Flu Fest. As
Oh,
Rick
flu.
Javik
Oh, I thought you
put it,
said Plague Fest.
which is kind of insensitive. I don't know.
I don't. Again, like I mean, I
So who-
joke, but at the same time, yeah. I mean, it's,
Can we joke about it now?
I don't think so.
Can't
Still
until it's
hashtag
confirmed
early.
nobody died
Future
from it.
question
Otherwise,
yeah,
you're
I mean,
gonna
like
ask.
you know,
Yeah.
if people are sick and then they're okay,
That's
then
true.
that's good. But I mean, like obviously, yeah. I mean, like I hope people
Should we
I
give
mean,
it a week?
don't. I mean, not only
What-
hopefully
what
they
I
get better, but I mean,
I
hopefully
was asking,
they don't
can
get
we
super
make
sick.
jokes about the plague itself,
Oh, of
not-
course.
I think
not
so.
people getting the plague?
Right. I mean, that's what I was getting at. I'm not sitting there going like, "Ha ha, this person got sick," but
Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
I wouldn't do that.
I think Mace is probably onto something there. There was no soup gang at Iceland, as far as I could see.
Soup equals health.
Oh,
He's right.
Yeah.
Just
That's
health
What do you
pots.
Yeah,
what do you
dude,
what do
imagine
you
if
eat
everyone
when you
had
get
soup
sick?
there.
You have soup.
Dude, I went to the store this week. I got 2 soup meals ready.
My
Ooh.
my friend
My body is ready for soup.
my friend teaches art up in Seattle, and his one of his students made him a coffee mug, like a ceramic coffee mug, and he painted it as a Campbell's soup can. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up.
It's kind of fun. Did anybody here watch Arrested Development?
Nope.
Literally no one here watched any Arrested Development?
No.
I've seen a couple
Never
episodes
watched
in
it.
passing. But
David Cross's character was formerly a therapist, like a psychiatrist or something, psychologist. I don't remember which one. And he, at some point in the show, he's like, his character in that show is famous for like bad phrasing and not being, reflective on the way he phrases things. And he says something about being like, he's not only a therapist, but he's an analyst. And he's like, I'm pretty sure I'm like the world's first anal rapist. And it just, it's an anal rapist. But
Analrapist.
so I had a
Oh.
coworker back before I moved away from Houston, who we both enjoyed the show. She like made me, she got a blank mug, and like one of the things about it is he tries to become an understudy for the Blue Man Group at some point in the show. So he's always painted in full blue, and he's leaving blue handprints and blue everything all over the place. He blew
I
himself. all
love the
time.
Blue Man Group.
And so she made me a mug that has like a blue mouth print and like fingerprints on it, and it's like world's best anal rapist. And I've always wanted to like be able to bring it into work or something, but if you didn't watch the show, it's just really terrible idea. He's in an anal.
Shh.
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 Oh goodness.
Shh. LB, you're streaming something to us?
never mind, I'll turn it off.
Oh snap. Hey, I appreciate you showing me that hockey game the other day. Though.
Which one?
Sir, that's illegal.
Game 3,
Flames-
I think.
Whatever.
Is it playoffs or are they just? Man, I don't
It's
watch it.
playoffs, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, Rain, if it makes you feel better, his numbers were low enough that he probably won't
Are the
get
Flyers doing any?
Yeah, no one
But
will
I was
know.
doing
No
I was
one will
doing
know.
my part to help.
I don't really watch hockey. Are the Flyers doing good though? Are they even in it?
I don't know. Are they?
I'm not the person to ask.
No.
I respect sports, but I am not big enough into hockey. I just like watching. it 'cause
Yeah,
it
I'm
was
not
on.
really. I mean, if it's on, I'm like, oh, interesting hockey, but I don't really focus on watching it. But
I've never watched a full game before, but I like the idea that you can fight in a sport, so I was watching for that.
yeah.
And it was pretty like honestly it's super impressive watching how like amazing skaters those people are.
I was.
Like
I
they're
like the Flyers. I like the Sharks. I like the Flames. Those are probably my 3 favorite teams.
go Oilers.
Why are you like that? Why are you the way that you
I-
are?
I'm from Houston, Texas, and our old football team was the Oilers. So when I went up to Winnipeg for work, I was like at a mall with my guy that was training me, and we were just dicking around in the mall, and there was a sports store, and they had Oilers stuff, and I was like, Oilers? And
Oh,
he
but
kind of
I was
explained
like,
it to me.
I
He
thought-
was a Flames fan, and he also didn't like that I bought an Oilers hat.
Oh, you said Winnipeg.
I was
Aren't the Oilers Edmonton?
They are,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
I was in Canada for work, and I was at a
Gotcha, okay.
sports store in the mall, and so there was like sports swag, and I saw an Oilers thing, and I was like, oh shit, Oilers! That's throwback
Is the
from
Winnipeg
my
Jets,
former
is
football
is that
team.
still a thing?
The
believe
Jets are still they're a
okay.
thing again. They were gone for a while.
Yeah, that's
and they
right.
came back.
I was like, I remember hearing the term Winnipeg Jets, and then I was like, I didn't think they were a team for a while, but
when I was there, they were either gone or they had just come back or something. Like it was like a thing.
All I want to
Winnipeg's a
comment
very
on,
depressing city from a distance.
I don't understand anything about hockey. I do understand hockey a bit, but like all the hockey team names are either like really badass or they're really fucking stupid. Like
Whoa.
the Sharks, okay, kind of cool. But then you have like the Capitals. Like the what? The Leafs?
Yeah.
The what? Like
well,
okay.
the Leafs are just bad.
The Leafs.
The Leafs are.
But like
always
I mean
bad.
like if you're thinking of like a sports team
The
name like
Penguins is pretty cool.
yeah, bro, we're Leafs. Like
Just
Penguins
saying.
Penguins kind of makes sense, right? Hockey team.
Penguins is very cool.
I think a
Let's
lot
all
of
be
the-
honest with ourselves.
I mean, most of the hockey teams are fine. Yeah, I mean the Capitals.
There's more that
I
have
mean, most of the
really
Washington
terrible
D.C.
names.
like the Capitals, the Nationals, the what's their football team now? It's it's stupid now.
Sentinels.
They did come up with a name, didn't they?
No, Sentinels. That isn't that
I
Ottawa?
can't remember what it's gonna be though.
this.
Or Ottawa Senators, right?
Senators suck. Don't.
That's
Yeah,
the
well, no, I'm saying- but I'm
stupidest
saying,
name.
Oh,
I'm saying, like,
Commanders.
Washington D.C. though, it's like you have the
Commanders.
Nationals is their baseball team, the Capitals is their hockey team, and then like the command. Yeah, they just so they renamed.
Commanders.
They were the Redskins. Then apparently NFL was like, well,
Faux pas.
and rightfully so, NFL was like, you can't say that. Like, yeah, that was fine in the 30s, but you can't just say Redskins.
Was it an NFL sanctioned thing? I
Yeah,
thought it
and
was just
NF
public pressure
no,
over
NFL
time.
told them they had to change their name,
Gotcha.
and then that's why they became Washington Football Team. It was basically out of a baby tantrum protest by the owner. He didn't want to change the name. He wanted to keep it as Redskins, and the league is like, you
He's
can't.
said that
you
for
can't
years.
Call your team that. That's not okay. You can't call it Redskins and have a Native American as your your
I
team.
really don't see why not.
He famously said for years, like he was like, "This name will not change under my ownership," kind of thing. Something
Right,
along
I
those
mean,
lines.
but so they
is it
forced him to
gonna
change
get
it.
our
So
land
he threw a
back or
tantrum. He's
what?
like, "We're just gonna be the football team then." So they call it Washington Football Team. And then eventually, even all the fans are like, "This team's the name sucks. Like, please just name it something different." And they came up with
Commanders is pretty lame too, though.
they came up with Washington Commanders. That's so stupid. It's
I mean,
such
I'm
a
not trying to
dumb
throw
name.
shade. My team is called the Texans.
I'll throw shade. That's a dumb fucking team name. Don't call your team the
What is it?
Commanders. It's the Washington Commanders.
That's stupid, dude.
It's stupid. Like there's you could have come up with something better. But
Damn
Yeah.
woke culture.
yeah, so like every pro team in DC has a shitty name. I think I don't know what do they have a basketball team? I don't even know.
I don't think they do.
I thought they did.
I think
Do they?
might. I just can't think. I know
The Wizards?
basketball's the what? I
The
thought, it
Toronto.
was, I thought it was the Kansas Wizards.
I thought Toronto was the Wizard. No,
No,
Toronto's
Toronto's the
Raptors?
Raptors.
One of the
Shit.
Raptors.
Who
Rawr.
is the Wizard?
NBA lobbyists, the Washington lobbyists. That would be
Washington Wizards. No shit, you're right.
Is it the Wizards?
That's been a thing for a long time. Yeah, I guess
Oh,
it
I
has.
thought that wasn't it like the Kansas Wizards or they must have moved because they were
Haven't.
somewhere else before.
I feel like I
the
just
Wizards
never
were
hear
not
about this
DC,
team.
I'm pretty sure when they became the Wizards, but
Yeah,
I
they
don't
might have bounced
know
around or
basketball.
something.
I'm not very well versed in.
At one
most-
time, they were
in
called the
most
Capital
sports I'm not, but, like
Bullets.
basketball, I'm pretty bad at.
They were called the Capital Bullets. That's not. That would be terrible in this day.
It's
and
not
age.
appropriate.
Yeah, they couldn't find a good
Then-
bird. Yeah,
then
like,
the
that's
Washington
it's like,
Bullet.
Think of how many teams have bird names. Just think of a fucking bird.
Dude, it's such a like
Yeah.
gimme. Just naming it after birds. It's lame.
Magpie.
Oh, okay. Kansas City Wizards was a soccer team. That's what
The
I was
fact that
thinking
there's
of.
multiple Cardinals throughout professional sports pisses me off.
They all
Like,
the
come on,
same.
guys.
They have the
Could we,
same fucking
like, just try
logo.
again.
Like the
I
Arizona
think we could
Cardinals
wrap
and
this
the
back around to the spaceship game Eve Online.
No,
Sure.
no.
We're
We
having a
don't
moment.
talk about that.
Bring
shit
us
on this
back,
show.
Redline.
Yeah, bring it back.
I mean, there's a
There's
lot
nothing
more
to
stuff that was
talk
announced
about.
at FanFest.
Go.
There was a lot of different things. What
what would you like to talk
do you
about?
do? You have the
Redline?
list?
You sound like you're chomping at the bit to talk about
Kitty,
something. What you got?
Kitten!
Oh,
That was the little one.
oh,
Yeah.
kitten.
Wow,
Kitty.
that reaction though.
I like cats, but kittens.
She
are
gone.
It goes,
super-
"Whoa!"
Kittens are super cute. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Back there chewing on my display port cables. Get out of here.
Dude, my cat used to chew through my headphone cables and stuff. Oh, not cool.
Are you saying your cat likes the DP?
Good enough.
I'm sorry. Redline, go.
Wow.
Redline, go with whatever you're saying.
What is it like?
I was-
Zoophile?
Manic, are you in one of
I'm
those
good,
Final
man. I'm
Fantasy
good.
nightclubs?
Yes.
Oh, is that what you're vibing to? Are you really?
No.
Oh,
Look at that offender. He looks guilty as fuck. I'd boop him right
She's a
in the nose.
terrorist.
Boop.
She's a terrorist.
She looks
It's a
vicious.
domestic terrorist. It's one of the most dangerous types.
It does parkour. Like a lot.
Parkour.
Yeah, at that age, they're good at it.
Man,
Redline, what are
So
you
go ahead,
talking about?
Redline.
What's
Yeah.
what's coming out?
you know, it's fine.
Tell us about the arcs. What's
Don't-
up with that?
We don't,
Don't
have
shrink
to.
back in. We cleared the floor for you.
Oh.
You have the floor now.
CCP changing how players monetize? Like, so you have taxes, right? Corps and alliances can collect taxes, but that's really just on ratting income.
Are they actually moving forward with that? Like increasing ways?
Well, No,
groups
they're
can tax?
changing it to where now it's easier to tax on mining, on LP, and stuff like that.
I like that because I'm the man.
You're
I
the
run a
Are you in
man.
corp.
charge of that?
You're the
You
man.
mean
now,
I run a
dog.
corp, so I have to deal with all the bills and shit. So if I
Bro,
can
dude,
find ways
taxation
to
is theft.
crowdsource
Can't you-
that, that's better.
Can't you?
So you're telling me
Can
it's
you pay somebody to do that?
I could probably outsource it, but then I got to figure out where the money to pay him comes from.
it's so much
No
fun though.
taxation without representation.
Oh, I
It's,
represent the
it's
fuck out
so
of my guy.
much fun having to compare corporation contracts for ore though to ore taxes from like the mining ledger. It's so much fun to do that math and figure that
Dude,
out.
I
And
hate
chase
keeping
after
up with my
people.
ledger.
It's fucking awful.
So I'm in a very small corp, and we basically like, I don't know about socialism, but kind of maybe socialism. I don't know. We basically all just turn it into a pot, and it's an honor system, but for the most part, it works out, and everybody gets an even split.
Skyhawk.
I-
Now
Mhm.
that Excel is coming to Eve Online officially,
Genuinely excited for that.
that should help
genuinely.
you be able to do all of that shitty math.
Oh yeah, there's a
I-
lot of things that I'm actually excited for that from an industry
I hope
standpoint, like a
whatever-
corp management standpoint.
I hope whatever they do still has abilities to port over to like Sheets or something like
Yeah.
that, like free services. That it's just some sort of like endpoint integrations or something to where like you can utilize multiple spreadsheet softwares. Because I don't have Excel and I don't want to pay for. I have a buddy who lets me use his like Excel license, but come on now.
Legit, one of the things I'm most excited about being signed up for school again this fall is I can get Excel and all that other shit for free again.
There you go. I like to be able to share Google Sheets, like pass them around and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Way
my
easier
my
than
co-
sharing an
my,
Excel file.
my
Yes, it
core
is.
and my core Andy sheets though, like I guard those like they're my children. I don't let
Right, but
anyone
that's
see them
different.
or touch them.
Yeah, I mean, if it's something internal, then that's fine. But like most of the sheets that I use at some point or another, I'm going to share it with somebody.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that
And
same
Excel
kind of
wouldn't
thing.
be nearly as savvy for that.
Yeah, someone's like, hey, what moons are available in these fucking systems over here?
All sorts of things.
Hello?
Welcome back, Trade.
Oh, okay.
Welcome back.
Hi.
I could read it on your face.
I heard nothing. I was really afraid that I pushed something and everyone was muted the whole time. I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
We
we
were-
were
we were
yelling
just
the whole
waiting
time,
for
but you
you.
took your headset off, so it was to no avail.
Did you guys actually see? So the XL crossover. Did you see that was caused by like a ladies' night out at the club at the bar?
Yeah,
The
XL
club.
crossover.
It's like
Wait, what?
I didn't see.
Yeah, the XL crossover is actually because of like a ladies' night out.
What's the XL crossover?
It's ladies' night and the time is right.
They're
Um,
integrating
So it's
Eve Online
parsing-
or Excel, Microsoft Excel into Eve Online, so that you can
Okay.
export data directly into
Yeah, yeah.
Excel spreadsheets.
I thought he
And
was
they did
joking.
show some pretty. They did show
No,
some
I
pretty dope
was-
stuff with like the new with hanger animations and shit. That was pretty cool.
I was thinking like the letters XL, and I was just like, I don't.
Extra
What do-
large.
what do you
Extra-
think-
Well,
what
extra
do you-
large, but extra large what?
Bigger.
I really hope.
What
those
is-
finger
I'm
animations
curious,
are
though.
Optional.
Drayden,
What-
bigger's
what
always
does-
better.
So I love the idea of being able to see all my other ships around me, like in the hangar. But what
Ooh,
did you
that'd be
guys
cool.
think? That
Like
and
a
that's one of
garage.
yeah, like you're basically in your garage and you can see all your other
Dude,
ships that
people
you've
think
got
that
in your
was
hangar.
sick.
But the other thing they talked about potentially coming in the future is being able to see other ships that are docked.
Sure, why not?
Ooh,
Yeah, that's got
that'd
implications.
be sick. That's okay.
No, that's the like.
I mean,
docked,
well,
docked and
it's-
someone's in the ship at the moment, or all the potential ships that someone has docked. And...
I
I
think it would
took-
probably be their active ship.
Yeah, and to me
Just
that
some-
carries similar implications to
some
like
animations.
when the Sodios came out, for example. CCP said that they
The
had
whole
it worked out
tethering
where the
supers.
you could see a super or a Titan
Right.
that while it was in production. You could
had a
see it on the
strategic
like the side
implication.
bays. So there was yeah, exactly. There was a strategic implication. Similar idea here with this.
Yeah, I'm fine with the production thing. I don't know if I like the docked thing because that really takes away a tool of. I mean, like, yeah, Alliance will have spies and stuff. So if they have a spy and you're forming up, they'll know what you're getting into. But if they don't, like, I mean, if they just have a scout, like a Cloaky scout sitting off your citadel, and it's like, oh, they're all getting into, I mean, mutants or
Honestly,
then it's like, oh, before you even undock, they know what you're gearing up for, and it takes, form up takes, anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes depending on the Alliance. But I mean, I would rather it be more like, if you want intel on what they're flying, if you don't have a spy, you need to like watch them undock and then bridge. Like, I mean, if you don't see that and you miss it, maybe they undock and bridge within 5-10 minutes. And it's like, if you miss that, then like you'll see it on grid. But I don't know. I don't like people getting that much of a heads up, like before you even, I mean, like, because it makes sense. Like, if you are looking at the outside of a station, why should you be able to see what people are getting into inside, like the docking bays that are like, enclosed inside the station? Doesn't make
That's
sense.
not
to
what
me.
they were talking about doing, though.
yeah, they weren't talking
Oh,
about
I thought
that.
you guys. That's
No,
No,
you
like,
you have to
when-
be docked.
When you are docked, you can see other ships that are docked in the station.
Okay, when you were saying you could see other ships that are docked, I thought you meant like people outside the station could see.
No. Yeah,
Okay,
that would be a huge intel.
Yeah,
problem.
I
That'd be a
misinterpreted
weird
what you're
thing, yeah.
saying, and I was like, I don't like that at all. Okay, never mind.
And yes,
It
to
would
what
just end up
CCP
being
Darwin,
animations, though.
I think like CCP Darwin hit the nail on the head there. I think with the intel implications will be vetted before these changes or features get finalized. They said that this might be something that came down the road. They did not make any guarantees about it. They just talked about it.
That's fair.
So it's good that you bring that up because it's a good segue. We've talked about all the stuff that's at FanFest, but it's all like maybes and we might do this or we could do this.
I mean,
Wasn't
it's
my-
not
that
all
wasn't-
like that. There's
no, but
some
that's-
things like that.
I would say that's not an
Okay.
accurate characterization.
Okay.
Did we get solid dates on a lot of stuff? No.
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 There's no
But
solid
there's
date.
no-
It's
but-
only a roadmap
but-
that takes us to the next FanFest.
Exactly.
There's no way they ever
exactly,
will again.
LB.
People will crucify them over everything if they put dates on things. They're already going to
That's fine.
crucify them if they talk about things. And some of them
FanFest is-
they are actively working on, and some of them they're thinking on. So it's like they're not going to do that
It's
ever again.
it's not even crucifying them for talking about things. It's, well, I don't want to be negative. I don't.
I don't want to be negative either.
I like the
but-
idea of it's holding them
but-
accountable or even just whatever, but it's like, let's be honest, if they're talking about like we would like to see something happen at some point where, you know, we're looking into this, whatever, somebody out there is going to be like, and you said you were going to do, you know, and in years past, they did say they were going to do X, Y, and Z. So I understand where the precedent comes from, but it doesn't like benefit anyone to sit there and just like drag people over the coals over some stuff that they, you know, thought about. Hey, if these things work out, we'll have the framework in place to, you know, do maybe some of these things, and then they talk about it, and you know, somebody's going to hold it against them for the rest of their career, and
At the end of the day,
one day make Reddit
FanFest.
threads to call for their resignation.
At the end of the
I
day,
would never
FanFest
do
is
that.
where we get like the feel for where CCP is going over the next year. We get like we don't get a solid
And where
roadmap,
is
but we
that?
get a roadmap of ideas. And
So that you're good with just ideas like, hey, this is what we could do. We could make it so that you can land on planets and your own customized drop
That's the
ships
thing, is
that
it
you
wasn't
can
just
pay
idea.
for cryptocurrency.
it wasn't just ideas though.
There was a lot of actual like
It was
things
work
that
in
they were working on.
progress, early in
There
the
was also
process, all
ideas
that
mentioned.
kind of
That's what I
stuff.
just touched on. They mentioned, hey, we are because of things
But it
that we
was
are
all
working
very
on or
cool.
we're looking
So
into.
the thing that I
the
keep
framework
pointing
might be there
to,
for other ideas that we may be able to pursue later.
what I keep
Am I
pointing
like, did I
to,
FanFest
mischaracterize
could
that?
have been an email.
what I keep pointing to with like Alliance members that I've talked to about this is the fact that we've got very clearly like staring us in our fucking faces is this arc that's spooling up. And CCP has flat out told us to our faces on stage that if it's something tied to the story arc, they're not going to talk about it whatsoever. I think we've got new ships and other things just around the corner for us, hopefully over the next couple months as the story spools up. So if you think back to the invasion arc, we got stuff sprinkled new into the game like throughout that. Like the ships were relatively early in that arc where those got
So
introduced.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just want to make sure, Darwin. I'm not saying that none of this is like. I'm not saying that this is all speculation. I'm saying that it's like it's still very early in the process, and I was really looking forward to, like, we've got this plan. This is how it's gonna work. We're gonna
You
start
need to
rolling it
read
out,
that
blah blah blah.
more literally, Redline.
do
They
you
gave
mean?
us a roadmap between now and the next FanFest.
That's a
Everything
that
we
what
They
it
gave
talked
us the
about
roadmap. That's
was
key.
on the roadmap. Everything they talked about was on the roadmap. Darwin just said he's aware of previous FanFest where things were talked about that were pure speculation. That's not the case for this year's
So
stuff.
he's saying this stuff is
So
planned on actually
everything
being
you
implemented
saw
by,
That's
by
on
what
the
I just said.
roadmap between now and next FanFest is coming.
That's what I just said.
That's not what you just said.
It is exactly what I just said. I just said that I would like to see like what it is, not what it could be, what it might be. I
You
want
want
to
to see
see
where
what it
it's
is.
at?
It's been almost
Well,
2 years since the big content
but-
release with the Triglavian invasions and all that fun
I
stuff.
guess my thing with
I
that
want to
is
see what's been done between then and now.
Well, like, and I forget who was saying it just a second ago. The story arc is in play right now, and they're not
I
going to
don't
talk
want
about the
dates and
story arc
times.
that's in play.
also the
So
thing
you
is,
have
like,
to-
I mean, if
you have to
they're
follow
planning,
the
like,
story.
this is what we want to do by this time. I mean, they probably have a much better, like, more accurate internal roadmap, I would assume, than what they released. But they're saying, you know, things may slightly change based on. I mean, game companies may be like, oh, we're gonna do this, but then, you know, 2 months down the road, they're like, okay, we're gonna fudge it this way based on
we have to
feedback
delay
or based on,
because, yeah.
well, it either delays or maybe they're just like, oh, you know what, we're taking a little bit of a slight veer off to the
Happens
side, you know,
all the time.
yeah, it's, I mean, like, nothing is, they don't have everything for the next year set in stone. Like, this is exactly how we're doing it. So I would assume they can't give you exact details because they don't. They're
Okay,
like, this
but
is
they
the
can every
overarching
other
plan we're
time.
gonna do, and we will do it. The exact specifics of the implementation will come as they go.
And that's how FanFest generally goes. It's not a specific like here's exactly what
No?
you're gonna get and when you're gonna get it. You get an idea of what's coming over the next year.
Let's see. Okay, so this whole what's been going on the last 2 years thing is ahead. Okay. New player experience, economy, industry changes. That's what's been going on. I mean, yeah, that's very there has been a lot of focus on the NPE. I mean, look at the Academy, the whole new revamp of the NPE. Like, there's a whole bunch of shit there.
So the thing is, though, is that all of those things, aside from the NPE, was literally just taking stuff away. Like, that's not addition, that's not new content, that's not bringing people to the game. If anything, that pushed a lot of them away.
You're saying the NPE has pushed players away?
I'm not saying the
Like the
NPE, I
revised NPE?
said
He's saying
aside from the
end.
NPE.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Well, yeah, like I mean, before those changes, I was producing caps, and I haven't built a cap in a couple of years now.
Industry changes were pretty big pill to swallow.
Like,
Scarcity
and then
was,
and
But
then the
but
fact
I
that
am
our
on
big
board with
addition.
them at this point. I am on board with
Well, you
like
have to be.
no, I don't feel like I have to be.
It's like something was taken away, and then part of it was given back. You'd need to be a little appreciative, right? At least that's the
No,
plan.
I was like before they made the most recent Siege Green announcement, I recognized that like something needed to change. Like I was okay with those industry changes. Like it sucked, it hurt, but like objectively, I understood like why it needed to happen.
And that's fine, but to put it along the lines of
It
the
wasn't new
same type
content
of
though. You're right
content
there.
as the Triglavian invasion, that's kind of disingenuous.
I feel where you're coming with that. Like they didn't. You're right in saying they didn't add new content into the game. Like changing industry isn't adding new content to the game. It's changing content for existing industrialists, but you're not adding anything new when you do something like that.
Right.
You're just
I would agree with
changing
that
the
I'm good, I'm
formula.
characterization.
good.
You're encouraging people to go out and mine gas and do things that maybe they wouldn't have necessarily done in the industry chain before, but you didn't necessarily like add the
But
content. You just
ironically enough, though,
encourage towards it.
at the last FanFest, that was when Triglavians were announced. Into the Abyss.
Okay.
Or coming into the game, at least. It's crazy. So someone says I was not expecting a trailer for Drifter Invasions. I do want to say though that the NPE stuff doesn't. I don't want to talk about that. It's just a frustrating thing. It's been done so many times. Just do it.
I don't think it's just as easy as just do it.
Well, I think what
No
Redline's
swooshy.
saying, I was thinking about this earlier, that it feels, and again, this is like conjecture, a little bit of hyperbole. It feels like CCP has been talking about new players and the new player experience, getting new players into the game, bringing new players in, bringing new players, and we got to get new players into the. It feels like they've been talking about it for a long time and changing the NPE. I will bet if you were to go back and watch all of the major presentations from the last 4 years, from all of the EVE events, I'll bet a significant portion of those presentations, like the opening ceremonies and the keynotes, was regarding the NPE and bringing new players into the game. So it feels like this has been CCP's primary focus. It makes it feel like they haven't been working on anything else, which I know is not true. But
Do you
because
want my tinfoil?
they're constantly talking about the new player experience and bringing new players into the game. It's like
mean-
for me at this point, I'm like, okay, what about the rest of the
Here's
what about the rest of the
I have a
community?
thought on that though here, because this is something that I've seen passed around between people as far as like the story arcs and things, where people are saying, does CCP make the content or do we make the content? And if we make the content, obviously we're using the tools that they provide, that's a given. But for most non-new players, we make the content. We decide the story and we go out and have the adventures and we craft the narratives and et cetera, et cetera. And every once in a while they get involved. New player retention has been an issue for many, many years. If they've been focusing on it for the last few years, is that any huge shocker that they're trying to like put out fires, knowing that in reality, when it comes to content beyond putting out a new line of ships or putting out some sort of new story thing, players are already going to make their own content. Now, I will say if you take away their means of industry, it probably fucks their chances of making big wars and content and things like that. But I think that I could see a board meeting where they could say, hey, look, we could probably coast on players are going to still talk shit about each other and go fight each other. And we can work on these other things while they're doing that. And at some point they're going to be like, hey, where's our shit? And we'll try to go from there. But we could probably get by on this while we work on something that has been a long-standing problem. And as far as I know, I know they touched on during Fans Fest how many like new players from like they did like based on periods. How many new players within the last year or something of the total population. I can't remember exactly how it was presented. I don't know. I could see a lot of efforts being put towards that because that is, an attempt to solve, the problem that we have is that,
So-
we're a slowly dwindling player base over time. We
So real
obviously
quick, the
have to bring a new player.
the number that they put up there, I believe it was 53% of people have started playing Eve since the last FanFest.
57%.
57 and what 43% for CCP devs, 63% for devs.
Yeah.
There was a 3 in there somewhere.
I mean, I think that's an interesting thing to think about. And who knows? I
Well,
mean, I'm sure those are slightly flawed numbers, but
These
if you
the point
peruse
is-
Reddit, you'll see multiple times a week, and obviously some of them are troll posts, but you'll see people being like, "Hey, read about this game for years. Is this a good time to start?" Blah 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 blah. That happens daily, multiple times a day almost.
It does, yeah.
So
There's
with that
definitely
though,
people coming around.
there are people coming around, and like someone said though too, there are people or like other gamers out there that have a stigma associated with the game because it's been around so long. Like I'll just never be able to catch up.
It's hard to
So
shake.
how does CCP go about addressing those types of issues without getting the reaction from existing players of,
a-
oh well, you're just dumbing it down and making it easier for them?
in order to capture the size of audience that I think Hilmar wants, Eve has to become a different kind of game.
And here's my tinfoil.
Eve is a niche game, and CCP could do a lot to cater to that niche. But it seems like with the NPE and these story arcs and a bit more of maybe a PvE focused marketing and development focus for the game, it seems like they want to capture a larger, maybe more casual audience. Maybe not so much casual, but not the niche that Eve originally attracted.
So
That being
I
here's-
said, I
mean,
don't
here's
think
my
they
there's
could
tinfoil.
way
ever
more-
attract
I've-
those kind of numbers again.
Can stop for
Sorry,
I
go
want
ahead.
to give my tinfoil. I really do.
What's your
So
tinfoil?
man, here's the thing, and I'm gonna say a little bit of a couple things that may sound like I'm giving praise to CCP, and that's okay. Because if you look at what CCP has done from the perspective of a new player, a lot of the things that have happened have been positive changes. Because newer players, they can't fly the capitals or anything, and then less people were flying them because they were so expensive, so they had it easier, right? And then, if you keep looking at it, you'll see that CCP is developing the game right now for low sec and high sec a lot with faction warfare, because that's where people are going to go to do their fighting from high sec. They go to low sec, do some arcs, have some fun. And then null sec is just left to do its own thing, which is what we want, right?
I mean, for the most part, and no, yeah.
So then what do we really want that'll make us come back and play?
I want a more focus on the sandbox. I want more tools in players' hands. Like the ARC stuff doesn't interest me at all. The narrative driven events and the narrative driven development cycle that they want to do doesn't interest me at all because
not?
Eve's strength has always been what the players accomplish against this space backdrop. Nobody ever cared what the NPCs in Eve were doing. Nobody was writing articles about what the NPCs in Eve were doing. Nobody was
Don't say
writing
nobody,
articles
but
about
not the
the
masses,
battles
surely.
that the NPCs in Eve were fighting. They were writing articles, and we were setting Guinness World Records. The players
So you're
are
gonna
doing that.
Beetlejuice Asterothi.
That's
Oh,
So yeah, the narrative, the storyline stuff. I'm glad if that's what people want. I'm glad they're getting it. Uh, I don't think that's not the Eve Online that I joined.
Ashtarothi.
Goodness.
What
See,
kind
the-
of EVE
Really playing
Online
with
do
fire.
you want then? Like, what do you want? Because you say you want more tools. What
What
kind of
do you
tools do you
want?
want?
I haven't thought about it that far. I don't know. I want CCP to get out of the way. Let players do the things that they want to do, and get out of the way, and let us let it be a sandbox. Don't turn it into a theme park because just to attract a bigger crowd. Which by
That's the thing,
saying
though,
that,
Manic, is that it can be and completely preserve an entire area of space. Like, there's
like,
enough Empire
why
space
why not make
to
it
be a
all
whole
of
game.
space? Why not make it all of space? Why have
mean?
one section of the game be a sandbox and the rest be a theme park? Why can't it all be a sandbox like it has been for decades?
High sec versus low sec versus null sec are just different aspects of the sandbox. They're slightly different sandboxes with a little bit of different tools and rules in them,
Sure.
but they're still sandboxes.
But
And
maybe I misunderstood. I was interpreting what Redline was saying as leave nullsec as a sandbox and everything else let CCP control.
I mean, I'm okay with the storylines affecting Empire space. So like high sec and some of low sec, that's fine as long as that shit stays out of null. I'm completely okay with it. And if
But
that
see, it
manages to
doesn't.
bring more people into the game, I'm especially all for it too, because more people in the sandbox in any way, I think is a good thing.
But development time and development resources spent on PvE theme parky content is development resources that aren't being spent on sandboxy content. And Eve is a sandbox game.
So
But
what kind
What
of
is
if you-
what
sandbox
is the
content are
sandboxy
you looking
content?
for?
I was gonna say, yeah, if you want the players having agency over all of it, then what do we need someone putting their hands in it for? Seems like they're getting in the way. Let them focus on the theme park. Let us do our thing. That's what I took away from what you were saying.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking for
I
clarification.
I don't know.
When you're designing a sandbox, you got to design the framework.
So
But
the
not
framework
get
is
into the
there.
nitty
Like,
gritty. But then
we
you
don't-
have to
and
make
that's
sure the
what it
framework
is.
allows and encourages the people in the sandbox to
we
enjoy
don't need
themselves.
we don't need CCP to build roller coasters and merry-go-rounds for us. Give us the tools and the resources, and we'll do it ourselves.
So
to
then
answer
don't engage with the
CCP,
roller
so
coasters and merry-go-rounds.
I'm curious what people. So CCP Darwin asked us a question in chat, and I'm curious what people's answer to it is. What exactly is sandbox content?
It's
I agree.
it's tools that empower players to do things in such a way that maybe the developer didn't intend. It's
So
let us
what's an
break the
example of
game.
that?
Let us build sandcastles. Let us break the game. I'm trying to think of an example is like, and Hilmar always loves telling this
Citadels, I
story.
think is the last big one they did.
Is when everybody has heard this story. When Hilmar started playing Eve, it's the story he tells about how he was raising his daughter, and he's cradling his daughter while he's playing Eve, and he joined this player corp, and he discovered that they were jet can mining, and like this had become a common thing, but it wasn't an intended thing. It's just the players figured out a way to use the tools in the game in a really clever way, and CCP could have stepped in and said, no, we don't want you playing the game this way. You're not allowed to jet can mine anymore. They could have written something into the game where you can't jet can mine like that, and that would have cut off, that would be telling players how to play the game. And that's not what a sandbox is
I
about.
need you to understand that giving players the choice to go through storylines is not forcing them to disengage from the sandbox. Because right now, you personally have no agency over what changes do and do not come to this video game, which means that when the arcs come around, you're not participating in them is not going to impact them in the slightest and will not change your experience right now.
I
I
want to throw it
agree.
in
'Cause
there
rails don't need to matter to you.
for sandbox content. I think Manic's kind of being real specific, but I want there to be like if I play the game, I want there to be purpose in the game, right? Like if I go out and solo PvP or fleet PvP, I want to have a reason to besides, oh guys, it's just fun. Like yeah, sure, everything is fun. I could sit and watch paint dry if I think it's fun.
The
But like
thing,
I think of a lot of like what like the big null groups do, right? Like there's always this incentive, oh, own your own space, build your own empire. And it's like, okay, well, why? Like Imperium builds an empire. Why? What's the purpose? And if they don't really have an incentive to go and kick down somebody else's empire, then what does it matter? And you could say like, oh, well, they could invade drone lands and shoot them. And it's like, yeah, but why would they? It takes a lot of time, a lot of organization, a lot of effort. And then your enemy can either rely on the mechanics to just like back off, or they can just like cheese you for years or whatever.
the
That's something that I always think of is like why should all these massive groups, like why should Titan fights happen besides quote they're fun XD. Like there's really no reason someone should go out and have a massive Titan fight. Give us a reason to do that.
I mean, so I'm gonna I kind of want to bring up to something that Darwin was saying earlier, and it makes sense with the whole thing of So he's saying, what exactly is sandbox content in quotes?
That's what I was
like,
just
we have a lot of
describing.
we have a lot of ships, a lot of skills, a lot of modules and structures. So the sandbox is up to the players to make it. So that's the whole point of the sandbox. Like, here's the tools, and you want a sandbox, so you make the content. So it's up to you to make the content. So when you have these periods of a lull of no conflict and just farming up the ass, that is because no one's out there striking up wars and making conflict. Now, conflict drivers are a thing. Like, you need to have if there's no reason to go attack the other person because there's no driver for conflict, then they might not. But a conflict driver can be economy or resource based. That's usually, I mean, like in the real world, those are conflict drivers, and so therefore you can translate those into the game. And so I think that with the abundant stuff, to where they kind of shot themselves in the foot, where they're like, oh, there's a bunch of this unusable space that's not very livable, so we want to make all space livable. But in doing so, they made it to where like no one really had a reason to go spend a bunch of resources and shit to go attack other people, because like, why do we need to go invade their space? They might have better space, but our space is perfectly adequate for what we need. So there wasn't a conflict driver there. So
Dwindling resources, that's the end game for it all. That's the ultimate.
Right, and so I'm like, scarcity was probably
not scarcity in itself,
a bit heavy-handed on the
the
overarching scale there,
which
but
is BRM tool.
And honestly, I kind of liked the idea of back when, like, certain areas had certain resources, and it's like I understand, like, back in the Technetium era, you had these bottlenecks that people could exploit and therefore make a shitload of money on. But when you had areas where it's like, if you want this, you have to be here. Like, this space makes that space makes this space makes that. And when you have that, now you add value to space that is not just like, oh, all space has all these things. It's like when specific areas have specific things that make specific areas valuable, and when you have a value in an area, people want it. And if you have it, you're like, cool, we have it, other people want this, that means they're going to try and take it from us and we have to defend it. That's a conflict driver. And that's not the only conflict driver, but resources are a major conflict driver in the real world and in the game universe. So if you I mean, put that shit in. Like, make areas worthwhile, but worthwhile because of a specific thing, and then other people are going to want it because maybe certain specific things are, I don't know, like, people talk about balance, like, oh, if you make one thing more valuable than the other, then whoever has this thing is king of the hill. Well, I guess that's the case. Maybe dethrone the king. I don't know.
What if a certain resource was tied to the allegiance that you pledge in the game?
Oh,
And your participation in particular events would drive the availability of that resource up or down.
Sounds like a great reason to have an alt for every race.
What if your alliance would have to declare or could declare allegiance to a certain faction. And that would determine what sort of content you could participate in.
I think
Yeah, and that's true.
I
Rain.
think
agree with
depleting
that, too.
resources is the future of it. Like, I think that's the only best way to do it. Having unique resources in different parts of space, Rain said, only results in logistics costs. It also results in price fixing and cartels and things like that. Like
no,
that,
but
static resources is an issue in my opinion as far as consumption. You know, if you want to make the game seem more dynamic and want to make people want to go to war more often, more conflict driver, you need to have resources deplete based on consumption to where people want to go somewhere where they're not because they've overfarmed.
I do agree with, and I was just saying, like, you know, just
If
stating the
there was a way, yeah, because the thing is CCP had it the old way, and everyone was like, yeah, dude, people will move around and be conflicts and blah blah blah, and it's like, nah, dude, ship it to Jita.
the biggest,
You can't live out in Null, ship it to and from Jita. Everyone did it. So you either
Yeah.
make it so it's not feasible or possible, right? Like capitals, or you know, like I think of like capital ships, right? Like you can't ship your Titans to Jita, or you do it to where it's more beneficial to, you know, pick up a group of people and move them. Right now, it makes no sense for any group to pick up all of their structures, all of their rigged structures, and move because
Move their
this place
empire.
has more resources.
right.
That's the thing, though. If
And-
nothing else, though, you should be encouraged to expand your empire, which is not terrible if you can also make mechanics that make it punishment to be overspread, right? To be spread
Do you
thin.
guys remember? Do you remember OTEC?
Yeah.
We do.
What would happen if you did this? If you changed the way resources were laid out, wouldn't two big
Well-
groups just get together and be like, "All right,
That
I won't invade you, you won't invade me.
right.
You sell
and-
me that resource at this price, I'll sell you this resource at this
That's-
price. We'll control the market in Jita, and that'll be the way.
And
That'll be the way
the
forward."
oligarchs get rich. I that's what I was saying. Like, I agree with Rain on. She was saying in chat, and it's like, yes,
a way
so
to change it.
you give conflict drivers, but you know what? The human condition is going to be like, the most powerful group is going to take the best, most valuable resource area, and they're going to stay there, and no one's going to be able to dislodge them, and so therefore they're just going to keep becoming even more and more and more powerful. You know, that's what Goons did. So,
Band of
I mean, like,
brothers,
the
so to
thing is, like,
So-
conflict drivers are important to drive conflict in a sandbox, because if the sandbox
So-
doesn't have conflict drivers, then no one's going to really care to fight each other, other than just out of pure boredom. But out of pure boredom, it's just fights for fight's sake, and that can be boring for a lot of people too. People like Rain was saying, I like, it's like, I like to have a reason. Like, why are we going to war? What's the reason? Oh, just because we're bored. Well, you know, people are going to be a little less excited about that, maybe. I mean, some people are just like, yeah, fights are fights, it's fine. But there's a lot of people that's like, I want to feel like I'm accomplishing something in the war. And if you don't really feel like you're accomplishing something other than just like trying to shoot more ships than you lose, it can get a little mediocre. So, I mean, like, so what are the conflict drivers that
I
make
have to go.
people want to? Oh, you see,
Take care, LB.
CLB.
Bye,
Sip
LB.
over
Later, bro.
So, what are the conflict drivers that will
So here's the thing. When you talk about conflict drivers, like that's another one of my biggest things, is like making those come back or exist in the first place. Like, one of the biggest things that you have to look at is that there's currently very few reasons for nullsec people to be in lowsec, and vice versa. Very few reasons for high sec people to be in lowsec, with the exception of some type of minerals that you can just buy on the market, right? So if you create a reason for these other groups to go into these spaces, you will automatically create conflict. You know,
How do
people
you
that'll
encourage people
die-
to leave their comfort zone?
You force them to.
Honest question. Oh, force them to. Not
Mhm.
create a reason to, but force them to.
Well, no. So, like, say that you want to build. I don't know. Say that you want to build this special type of ship.
Okay.
It's a Galente ship,
A razzmatazz.
and in order, no, let's say you want to build an.
No, that's the
Atron,
name of the ship.
right?
That's what I'm going to build. Tell me how to do it. Go on.
So, if you want to build this Atron, you have to get this
Not Atron.
specific resource that can only be found in Galente space.
And now you buy it from the market from someone who lives in Galente space.
But you can't buy it from the market. And that's where my idea ends. That's why I need
That sounds
9 other
awful.
people. That's why I need 9 other people to bounce that idea off of to make it work.
First, markets and economies are very important in this game. And while we
that's
should
what-
get
that
away
wouldn't
from
be a
them in
conflict
some
there,
ways,
right?
we should not demonize them in other ways. But secondly, I don't think there's gonna. I can't think of any easy way to encourage people to go outside of where their empire is. Whatever they consider their empire. If
Money.
they're small little corp that lives in the high sec pocket, if they live in the low sec area, if they live in the null sec area, there's not a lot of things that will push them to somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yes, money will do that.
The thing with
How do
wars,
you-
though, is that wars are generally a conquest thing. So the thing is, like, but if you're comfortably in your space making money, you're not going to go out a conquering because
All right, hear me out.
you don't need the space. But
Every
What
day
if-
I'm conquering.
yeah, so you're just basically, I need
What
to defend against people
if-
conquering me, and that's all you have to worry about. So if everyone is in space that they're comfortable with, no one's going to go a conquering. So
What if
Depleting
sec
resources.
status? What if the security status of a system and the region that it was in was dependent on like who actually controlled it? Like, let's say that, for instance, Delve could expand into like Iridia and Conid. Can you imagine that?
And it'd
And
be
they could
like
turn-
enveloped into Delve, like it would be
Yeah,
annexed
they could
essentially.
turn those
as far as
systems
map
into
mechanic.
Delve. But then,
I-
as things
I think
progress,
that's-
it can happen and go the other way.
I think that's kind of arbitrary because
It
I mean
is
Saab
weird.
basically essentially will do the same thing. I think what if
No, but I mean, it changes.
people deplete their
status too.
resources and they want to go to other places because now they are more favorable. Like you said, money is what's going to drive people around.
True, money.
If you work through the bounties of your land, you will want to look at other land. You may not move your empire, and that's the real fun of it, is that you may not move everyone to other land because it's just
So
going to
the thing
deplete there
is
too.
we do already
but
have
you'll
that,
go
though, with
burn
the
and
bounty
take other
resource
land.
modifier. We
But
do
that's-
have the bounty resource
that's the
modifier, where
foundation,
the
it's not
resources
there.
never go to zero, but they do get depleted to where it's ineffective. And in a game that's as min-maxed as Eve, it's very hard for people to be ineffective. So that's the thing, is like what I'm trying to think of is a way to make it so that people don't have to invest a lot into this thing, whatever it is, but they do get a lot of reward from it, but it is easy to kill. The ESS is not the move for that right now. It could have been cool, but there's some things that would need to be tweaked on it.
Yes, this is pretty
It's
cool.
still, it is. It's just when Vargur's at 170 kilometers, I don't have to say anything else.
Defend their bounties.
Yeah,
Yeah, that when people defend their homes, patriots.
but they're just there, like they're just sitting there, and somehow can shoot you from that far away. I don't know.
They're
saying.
battleships. That's what they do. They reach out and touch faith.
Yeah, but if I'm like a frigate, and you're like
Then you should not be
170
touched
kilometers
and
away,
Do your best to get transversal up.
but
I know you know how this works.
somehow
Reach out and touch faith.
That's right.
you're wrong. I like that song.
Personal.
Personal Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty catchy.
Anyways, there's a lot of great things that could come into this video game and make content, but nobody can seem to think of any of them.
What are you talking about? Nobody. I don't like generalizations.
Okay.
I think a
Can
lot
you
of
give
people
me
think
some
of lots of
ideas?
fun ideas. I've been talking about ideas tonight, just now. I was talking about more dynamic resources, which is not a unique idea. I'm not saying that's my idea.
But we
That
already
is
have that.
an
though.
idea that I
That's
think
a
has
thing's
stuck.
been around for
No, dynamic resources is not implemented in the game at the moment. You're talking about DRM, whatever the friggin' BRM.
PBS.
Is it not? Are there not
PBS,
certain minerals you can only get from certain regions?
I'm talking about in the way that if you consume them, they shrink and they take time to grow back, whereas they move to other places.
Right. Gotcha.
So,
you know
if
what would
people
happen with that,
live
right?
hard in their empires, then they need to go to other places and they need to like lord over other people and go conquer their shit to get more shit.
But then everybody would just
Vassal
join the
system.
same group.
I mean, we're already in like 3 groups. What's the problem?
That would be one would be less than 3. That would be a problem.
Everybody's not going to be in one
Is
group.
it
Nobody
though?
will. On Tranquility, we will never see one group.
I
Right, but we'll
actually
see a
agree with
group
that.
is so
yeah,
powerful.
there's always gonna be
that
there
it
might be
doesn't
two
matter what
large
you wanna
chaotic like
see.
dichotic
They'll
groups,
just
but
go around in a circle.
There's essentially
They'll go
2
around
right
space
now.
in a circle.
There will never
there's
be
two
one.
major. There's more groups than just the 2 major ones, but
Never
there's
be
2
one.
major groups that are in conflict a lot of times, but there are. It's not like 100% of Eve is in those two groups.
So
Right,
in
and
my
it doesn't
mind,
have to be.
here's my
Good.
ideas, right? So in my mind, there's 3 types of content that are like generalized content. I like the generalizations. There's very small scale, which is like 5 ships engaging. There's medium scale, which is anywhere between like 20 and 100, and then there's your big block scale warfare, right? So you got to have something for all 3 of those things, right?
What about the solo? The one man army.
Well, solo too, I guess.
That would be in small scale, 1, 2, 5.
Solo,
Yeah, I feel like
so
solo
soloing is
PvP is
Because
interesting
one guy
to
can
me.
take on
I feel like
5 if
solo
he knows what
PvP
he's
is
doing.
such a
That's
different
bad.
beast than even small gang warfare, though.
I
He's in,
respect
like, 1 to
soloing,
5, though.
but Eve is absolutely better with friends.
Yeah, I know it is. I'm just saying,
100%.
like, when you're running around solo, that
And
is
I
such a
would-
different thing than if you're running around with like even 4 friends. It's
And I'd
different.
much rather see it developed towards the groups rather than
The
individuals.
tactics,
Sorry.
strategy,
Sorry,
and skill
BSB, I
required
know
is
that's
so
disappointing.
different than yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, soloers is literally none of them.
I would say solo, like literal solo PvP is a different beast than even small.
Redline, are
you
you saying
believe-
that if you don't have friends, you're not allowed to play Eve?
Yeah. What are you
No,
saying?
I'm just
Quite
I'm
the
saying
gatekeeper.
that to play optimally, you need friends.
Are you saying that people have to have friends to be valuable?
You gotta have
I
friends.
think I've said 2 things twice, and both times you asked me if I said something
That's a
completely
lot of
different than what I
twos in
said.
that statement.
Welcome
You
to
know what that
college.
tells me,
I don't
though?
follow.
That says you're
It-
speaking in smoky messages. You need to clear that shit.
I'm not speaking in smoky messages.
You
I'm
think
just
that, but
speaking.
people are asking you the same thing multiple times. So is it them or is it you?
Is it?
That's what I'm asking.
Or is it
We're
them?
Multiple
asking the deep
times.
questions now.
Akarath, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you remember me saying this, but that is the 3rd time that you've asked me that question. Please stop.
What'd you ask him?
Go for 4. I will say nothing until he asks you a 4th time.
Yeah, I missed the question. Can you ask it again?
So did I.
Vow of silence.
Anyways, I don't think you're ever going to see a massive, large scale war like we saw last year and year before. I don't think that's something that, unless there's a drastic change to nullsec, and it's something that actually makes conquering space more valuable than just switching it diplomatically and just going around in a circle like a bunch of locusts eating up all the crab food. Like there's just nothing that CCP can do that won't be seen as an affront to the sandbox with nullsec combat, if I'm being totally honest.
Well, yeah, I
So
mean,
instead, they got to focus more on the smaller scale, like maybe 50 or less.
so am I wrong though in saying that essentially another way to say that is they don't have a good way to deal with the N+1 problem?
I
Does
mean,
anyone?
N+1
Has there
is
ever been
always
an
going to be a
N+1
problem.
solution?
Well, yeah,
I don't think there is a
they're
good solution to it.
that's what I'm getting at though, is like I think a lot of the problem for nullsec comes from the N+1 problem, which, like we all just said, isn't a problem that, is really addressable.
I got a solution. So you take the amount of people in a space system, and you do some crazy mathematics, and you figure up like some sort of scale of damage that the ships do based on how many people are in their fleet and how many people are in space. There, you've solved N+1. Now, the more people you have, the less damage you do.
I don't know if I
Useless,
like
you
that.
blob.
I don't.
That's gonna be
No one
that's gonna
likes
be
that.
game.
It's
No
an
one's
awful
gonna like that
solution.
because
It's gonna
they're gonna feel then.
Here's-
No, you can't do that. That's not a feasible option.
Here's
It's
the problem.
terrible. There's no
Here's the problem
fix
with
for
not only
N+1.
that though, but also making the game emphasize around the medium scale, let's say the 50 man or less content. Is anything you do to affect any smaller group is going to be exploited by any larger group. That there's no
Not
way you can
really.
balance the game around small situations.
Sure you can.
And
Because
how so?
basically what
How
you
have
need
you
to
seen that
do-
employed over the last 18, 19, almost 20 years now?
Bro, come
How
on.
have you
You
seen
know I
things that have
haven't been playing
benefited
EVE
small
Online
groups?
for 20 years.
There's lots of people who have played EVE Online for almost
Yeah,
20
but
years.
not me.
I'm saying, but how have you seen that employed any time over the history of EVE in your experience? things that can be developed towards the smaller group, towards the little guy, that aren't going to be taken and run with by the bigger guy. You
What's
can't
wrong with
balance
that?
that way. In the
What's
same
wrong with
way,
that?
what's wrong with what?
What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it scaling?
I'm not saying there's anything necessarily wrong with it. I'm saying that I don't think
Oh,
you can
good.
effectively build gameplay that is only applicable or is focused enough to affect those groups that is not going to be exploited by everyone else to where it's not actually going to benefit those groups anymore. It's going
Why
to be
wouldn't it?
taken. It's going to be taken over by larger groups.
What do you mean? Poshvin, look at Poshvin.
What about it?
Just look at it.
And tell me words about it, like making a point, not saying, "Hey, look at this thing. Look at
So
that."
there is not one single group that controls Poshvin right now. And there never can be.
There's large groups that have majority influence in Poshman. That's
I mean, there's large
wholeheartedly the
groups
case.
that have influence in Poshvin, yes.
That's what
But
I'm
What
saying.
makes
there's
what
also
makes it
groups that those
fundamentally
groups will
different?
run away from.
What makes it fundamentally different from something like, say, Losec then? In that kind of regard, like, because you can't own Losec space either.
Right, well, it's not about owning low sex space. It's not about owning Poshvin. It's about the content that you do is geared around smaller groups. So yes, did bigger groups come in and are they doing the majority of the sites? Probably. And is that okay? Might be. But what I'm saying is that there's got to be a way to implement that to where yes, bigger groups can still do it, but they can't make it so that their numbers are so important. Because that's what Poshvin is right now, is that you can go in there, you've got like 20 dudes or whatever, and another group's gonna have 20 dudes. They're out looking for sites, and you're gonna fight over them for the shittiest.
And then the other group with 50 to 300 dudes is going to take it.
The 50 to 300 dudes aren't gonna make it there.
What do you mean?
Unless they're already there, and no one.
They are already there.
Why are there 300 more people in Poshvin right now, dude?
There's lots of people in Poshman.
Yeah, but why are there 300 people formed up in a fleet to fight me right now, dude? In
I
this
don't know.
story.
Maybe because they want kills and you're available in front of
But
them.
how did they get there?
Who
Because
knows?
content.
Different ways, all of them.
We're going down a strange tangent.
I feel like you're asking arbitrary questions for no reason.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Akaroth.
All right, that's unfortunate.
But how
But
did they
anyways-
get there? What is life?
No, but I'm saying so the reason I ask how did they get there is because there's only like one way to get into Poshvin, and or two ways. It's through filaments and through wormholes, right?
Right.
So they either got in through a filament or a wormhole.
That's how they got there.
Did they all come in together? Like, is it?
It
is
could be different for every
Is it
pilot.
like
What
10
does that
different
question
groups
mean?
of 30 people? If so, that would be fucking amazing.
I don't think so. What I'm touching on here, and I think that's why it should have been evident when I was talking about it, is larger groups having more presence. You can't, to my knowledge, nobody has effectively tackled how do you make content specifically for smaller groups outside of, like, let's say an AT situation where you literally are capping.
Okay. So if you're literally going to compare this to, say, the Fortizar timer in Poshvin, where like Frat brought like 900
It's
people.
not what I'm comparing it to.
Okay, perfect. So then I just don't know how you're going to get an extra 300 people there, especially when the content is.
Those
geared
people all
around 20.
have
So
all
that
have
is
the means to
question,
get there
though.
easily on a regular basis. It's not hard to get into Poshvin.
You
So I'm not sure what the logistics aspect of it matters. If there's
getting
content
there
in the form of
time for the
kills,
fight.
people will show up to do them. And there are
Man,
large
you
groups
gotta-
of people who have presence in
When's the
Poshvin
last
who
time
will
you've been in
bring
a
lots
20
of people
versus
there.
20 fight? Like,
Like
cruisers.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
How long did it last?
It was off and on for about 15-20 minutes.
Okay, how long does it take to form a fleet?
It was off and on for about 20 minutes. Took us too long.
All right, so it took
Been
you 20
there.
minutes to form the fleet. Right, it took you 20 minutes to form the fleet, and that's okay. It's a nice little time. You gotta crack the bevies. I get it. And the fight was 15 minutes. So you're telling me that you're gonna get 300 people to fight my dumbass in 15
Not you.
minutes?
Small gang content. Medium.
say-
We said
I'm
medium.
there.
It's
I'm
50
saying
honestly,
I'm there.
honestly, it really depends on what's getting dangled out there. Like if
Bro,
something
it's-
comes walking through that's like
That's
a
what I was
Titan or a Super, and I ping like, oh, hick on Super, get Super tackled, I'm gonna have everyone and their fucking brother and sister and cousin and fucking ex-wife showing up for the fight.
When
okay,
you're
but
talking about
how are
content,
they
whether
gonna
it
get
is a
there?
50-man gang versus a 300-man gang or a different number altogether, if there's kills that are easily accessible and people are lacking for something to do and they want to go kill them, they will go there. Whether it's Pochven or not, there's lots of people who have ways into Pochven, so I feel like that's just a weird, like, arbitrary
Okay,
thing of
but
like how
here's
are
the
they
thing,
there?
though.
But
Like, if you do Pochven, you know that the filament will take you somewhere random, right? So your first step is to get everybody together, get everybody in comms, get everybody in ships, right? Your second step is to get everybody sorted into a fleet that is going to be able to take a filament, 25 people into Pochven. So let's say you get 100, that's 4 additional fleets.
there's already
with
so
4
many
other
people who are
X's.
already staged there, whether it be alts or otherwise. I'm talking about big blocks
Come on
here.
now. Come on now. No one lives in Pochven. Anyways. You're not going to do
Alts
all
live
that.
in Pochven.
And then filament into Pochven. And then collect your fleet all in the same location.
I think you're overthinking this, and I think
And
it's actually
then
much simpler than all
come to where the fight is before the fight is over, is what I'm saying.
that. Okay.
That's
I
what
think
I'm saying.
I think you might be wrong, but that's okay.
I challenge you. Record
Okay.
it, prove it to me. I'll give you real money.
I record nothing.
Well, then you don't get paid.
That's fine. Talking about getting paid, because I want to touch on something from earlier. One of the siege green changes, the medium structure is going to be easier to bash. People are hopefully going to see more turnover with moons, things like that, which is a profit source for a lot of people. But Moongo has been in the like shitter for the last month or two, and so it's funny that like now as moons might start changing hands more, like it's not worth much.
Yeah,
I find that a
Moongu
little
is-
bit entertaining.
I completely pulled out of T2 production. Like I just hit the pause button big time and just pulled out entirely because that market crashed.
I mean, if you're still guarding your margins, you should be fine. Just if you're the guy doing it for your bread and butter, that might suck to make half as much as you made a couple months ago.
That's well, yeah. I mean, like not.
If you're just
making
building
it-
T2 ships, I mean, you could do that still.
Well, yeah, you could still.
If you're the
turn
guy
a
mining the
profit.
moons, that's right.
No, I was doing like
Yeah.
22 bill worth of T2 ships a week before. And so like just the amount of VISC I'm getting off of it and profits now makes it I'm like nope, not worth it now. Instead I'm repositioning to get ready for cap production.
It'd be interesting to see where that rebounds to, honestly. It's been fun and silly that for the last 2-ish years of whatever scarcity, that we've mostly still seen stockpile based pricing. Like to my knowledge, no capital has hit what its production cost is supposed to be.
Range thrown.
Essentially. Yeah, Rain's trying to stream some shit.
We're clubbing, dude.
Oh, are we? Let's see what this is.
Fuck yeah.
This is interesting. This reminds me of like Star Wars Galaxies, where you'd have to like go into the cantinas and like watch entertainers to like wear down your combat fatigue. Although this seems like you're just gonna like exhaust yourself by dancing too. So like
You can like just dance, and then they have another stream with music, so I've just been listening to that.
Where is it?
And then people dance and role play and shit. This is Final Fantasy.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, where's the stream?
It bothers me that Khaki Pants just has like one like repeat move. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we all do.
It's
My
a-
character
it's a
does. My
dance
character's in the
animation that
middle.
plays on loop. Yeah.
I mean,
just-
yeah,
I wish
well,
they had a little more
we-
variety going on
We
here. I
did
want to
this
see a
shit
real club.
all the time back in the Matrix Online days. We would have like party nights because there would be like clubs in the city, like actual
You see-
clubs.
The DJ's like spraying shit. She's supposed to be spraying
Yeah.
shit from her thing.
Spraying shit.
Where do you see this at?
Confetti.
Oh,
This
whoops.
is on Rain's
Passes
stream.
the spell.
She shared a stream.
Rain's
She's not streaming it for the like
broadcasting.
any of the listeners.
she's
so-
not on Twitch, but she's
Like, cool.
broadcasting in Discord.
Oh.
Look at this. Look, dote, and I can blow a kiss.
Look at all those hot bars. How the fuck do you play this game? That's
I click them.
Just
Awful.
miss all the
I'm
cams.
Oh my god, I'm triggered. I'm
I'm-
triggered, Rain.
I'm slowly.
I can't do it.
I
Getting
haven't played a game like this in
accustomed to-
years, and I don't want to go
Yeah.
down that pathway again. All my friggin' high, mid, and lows like is enough. Goodness.
My
Jaden, I
guilty
like your
pleasure.
beard there, dude.
He's always like, "Let me in. I want pets," and I let him in. And the second I stopped paying attention to him, he's like, "Let me the fuck out."
Cats are assholes.
I use hotbars a lot actually. If I'm playing my guilty pleasure MMO, which is Lord of the Rings
Don't say
Online.
it.
I mean, you have to use
Nope,
hot bars in most
it's-
MMOs.
Yeah.
I tried that. I gave
just-
it a
I
shot.
hate them.
I'm a huge Lord of the Rings and just J.R.R. Tolkien fan in general.
Oh, same.
Yeah,
I'm
so,
a
like,
massive
get-
fan.
Well, yeah. So like, just like I muted all chat channels like in that game. I ignore all other players when
Yeah,
I
Turn off
play
the
it.
UI.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
can
s- I
turn
saw
off
it-
the UI for
Nice.
screenshots
Yeah,
and stuff
I saw
too.
it was.
Oh, I mean for
free to
playing.
play. Like the first 6
Oh,
years of
yeah.
content was free to play now, and I was like, oh, and so I actually it was like a month ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. I made a character. I started playing through, and I really, really, really wanted to like it, and it just felt so clunky.
Hey, Redline, real
Like
quick.
that's the best I can describe. Like as far as like any kind of like MMO UI and just like the how smooth and everything.
It's very basic.
It's so clunky.
Drayden, can you share her screen share like to this stream, like as like a
Um,
small?
I mean,
picture
it's
or anything?
it is an old as far as MMOs
Just
go.
because we were talking about it.
It's an old game
I
at this
could
point.
try.
It's not as old as Eve, but it's not much younger than Eve.
What? Wow.
No, Lord of the Rings Online.
Oh, Lord of the Rings Online. Yeah. I mean,
That was like 2006.
Yeah, 2006. I remember I was in high school when I first got it.
it is such a weird reflection moment to think of how the MMO climate went in the last, like in my whatever developmental years throughout my life so far,
Hold on. It's,
where we went
But
to like a ton of them, and you know they were hit and miss, of course, all throughout. But like to like now, it's just like almost a dead genre again.
But that
It's
game
like
is
the rise and fall of MMOs.
if I want to like just play a video game and like do solo shit for like a night, Lord of the Rings Online is what I go play.
There you go. Yeah, he's
yeah,
got
that's
it
all
up.
I can do. Although I can't without and I don't want to redo the
Messed up all
entire
the
overlay
cameras.
I have because I have to redo all the camera capture. I don't want to do that just for this.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. So
I
this
just
is-
wanted to ask Redline real quick if that was like the medium gang content he was talking about.
The guy at the
Like,
very,
it's like-
very
it's more than
bottom,
1 to
kinda
5, but
bottom,
it's definitely
bottom
less than
right with
100.
the cat man with the pink hair at the bottom right. That's how I dance in the clubs. Like just
There
the
you go.
same two things over and over. And
I think
wait,
that's most
no,
people.
he fucking panicked and ran. That's also me too.
Oh. We talked about him.
Yeah, it's oh shit, they noticed me. Time to get the fuck out of here.
Oh, more
What was the
confetti.
question?
Wait, why is there two?
I was asking if the video on stream, like, is this like the kind of like medium gang content you were thinking of, like it's
What's
not
the
a
table
it's not a
dancing?
small amount of people, but it's not like a ton of people. Like this is pretty much like medium
Okay.
gang, small,
Yeah.
you know, like this is sandbox content. These people chose to come here and dance at a club.
So they actually just have clubs like this built in the game, or is this something that
No, this is when people say sandbox. This is what players are
made
doing.
this?
Yeah, so Final Fantasy's in like a very theme
like a
park, like
house
very set
building?
railroad, and somebody bought a player house, designed it like a dance club, and then invites people to it, and everyone can dance.
Okay, so it's like invite only.
Nope, it's free as long as you can get there. There's
Oh,
a
okay,
limit
so-
as to
so
how many
it's
people
like a
can come
public
in.
opening then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's an
How do you know
exclusive
where to
club.
go then? Like, how do you know?
They shout. They stand in systems and shout, and then I got on one Discord, and they're sharing tons of Discords, so I'm on 30 Discords for Final Fantasy.
You got fucking
All for
wow.
dancing in a club.
Wow, what?
It's
30
Friday the
for dancing in
13th.
clubs?
Yeah, so it's
Or
Friday
30 for
the
the game?
13th.
Holy
No,
shit,
it's
it
purely like
is.
a.
I
What?
didn't realize
is a
that until
dance-
today.
Yeah,
Or
it's
just
like
now.
I didn't realize it till a couple weeks ago. It's insane.
Who's that one person dancing up on the balcony seat up there? They're just like doing their own thing.
That's an ultra VIP. They're not even on the main floor.
Yeah, I don't know. You
Uh,
can sit on the chairs too. Like some people sit in each other's laps.
You gotta run.
Oh,
through
that's
it.
hot.
Okay, I mean, That's
That person
cool.
just
I
came
mean,
hopping
that'd be
through there.
I wish there was more like strobe lights and like I don't know if they can add those though. That's the one thing.
Yeah, so like I don't know if you can see like kind of here in the bottom left, like you can glitch through stuff. I can look through the floor.
Yeah.
Like this shows the limitation of Square Enix,
Well, I mean, like, yeah.
but then
I mean,
also like what the players did just to get this to look like it is.
yeah.
Right,
No,
so
no, that's cool. I mean, like that would actually. I mean, if that was a real life club, that would be sick. I'm just saying, like, obviously add some strobes or some like some colored lights, some lasers. Add that shit in there, and that's a sick fucking club right there. So.
yeah.
So real quick, here's some of people's thoughts and problems with doing something like this in the EVE Online is that's that many players who are not out in ships doing shit in space.
But at the same time, that's that. There is that.
It,
but
it
the
may
thing
not be
is,
the
like,
worst thing. It may bring new players and they may go out on occasion and fly in space, and this might be what
I
they
mean-
would have done when they were docked up anyway. I don't know. I'm not going to say it's the worst. I'm just
To-
saying that's a school of thought.
Yeah.
Is
uh,
that
See,
like walking in
point,
station is the
I-
demon,
so-
you know,
so my-
because or is the devil?
my
Sorry.
thing on this is
Didn't they give some numbers on like how much time we've spent collectively like docked in stations or something? They made some comments
Oh,
on
who
it
knows?
at
But that's
FanFest.
That's a
this year.
terrible like
But what I'm saying
unuseful
though,
metric.
what I'm saying though is that
People
like
hold Fleet Boss
I'm-
docked
yeah.
all day away from their computer.
that's literally me. I have to be at work at 9 a.m. Downtime is at 7 a.m. I'm up by then, so I start up standing fleet and then I go to fucking work.
So
It's
my
literally my day.
Safety first, then teamwork.
my thing is like, yes, people doing that aren't out flying. Let's just assume that's like an Eve thing. They aren't out flying ships, but at the same time, there's a lot of people logged in Eve. They're just logged in Eve, not really doing much. Just
It's
more
true.
just sitting on voice comms, just chatting and bullshitting with their friends in Corp or in Alliance or whatever. And that's what they're doing.
That's why I
And
think
this
it's an
is just-
interesting
this would-
conversation.
like, I think of like ship spinning. This would be something that would be like along the lines of ship spinning. And so, yeah, I'm sure
And
they'd be
hanging
like,
out on
we're gonna
TeamSpeak.
have like a club
Yeah.
party,
Or whatever.
and people would do this instead of going out on a fleet. But
It would
I
be
don't-
fun for like Jita, like maybe not everywhere, but if you could do this in just like Jita, like you're in Jita 4.4, so you're walking around like doing stuff, right? Like, because in general, when you're in Jita, you're not undocking doing anything, right? Like you literally undock and warp away to go to another system to wherever your destination is. So when you're in Jita, like this would be really cool. Of go visit player housing or bazaars and
too.
markets, yeah, stuff like that. Like I would think that would be like an okay addition.
I think it'd be fine. And,
I'd be
even
okay-
in like Alliance headquarters, like Citadels and stuff. Like if there's no fleet going on and they're just like having fun doing,
People just
I mean,
wanna
that-
do
it doesn't
silly
just have to be
social shit.
clubbing, but I mean, like, yeah, just
Yeah.
doing social fun stuff while they're not going on fleets. Then that's people logged in, like enjoying the game. In
Like I
one
said, I could see
aspect.
merits to it.
That's
It's
fine.
an interesting conversation. I
But
know
I-
there is a school of thought that thinks like walking in stations, like we don't have the populace to lose people to a walking in stations
True,
enough,
but
like
with-
advanced enough game to where like people are doing that instead of flying ship.
I
That
feel
being
like-
said, if it's silly and like lighthearted like that, I think you probably wouldn't have the conflict of like, but I want to stay dancing instead of being like, I want to
Right.
go on a fleet. You
But
know what I mean?
My thing is, like, I bet that, like, you know, when it comes to the stuff where it's like a fleet needs to happen, hey, we got shit to do. People are gonna go get in the fleet and they're gonna go do what needs to be done, except for the people that probably just wouldn't be on the fleet anyway, because there's a lot of people like, oh, fleet, you know, CTA or you know, like fleet going up, ping fleets, get everyone getting fleet. We got shit to do, and there's always like, you know, a percentage of people that just they're still online but they aren't going. Maybe they're still doing that, but you know, they wouldn't be able to fleet anyway. So I don't know. I'm sure there are times where people are like, hey, we're having like Alliance club night, or we're having Alliance like poker night. Like, you know, maybe you have some like everyone's just gonna sit around
Sure.
and, like, you know,
Meet up
some
at the Mos
poker
Eisley
and do-
Cantina.
and it's yeah, it's like
For
they're
Saturday.
gonna do that instead of a fleet, maybe instead of like ratting or doing something like that. But like, I mean, if there's things to do, I think that they're still gonna get those things done. So
The interesting idea too is that, so like I said, I like this as a conversation topic. The interesting idea too is that if and when you add more avatar-based things, which I'm not hugely in favor of, but I'm not terribly opposed to, just food for thought. Is there an attraction level for new players based on that? People who don't understand the idea of I live in basically like World of Warships or whatever, where I drive like a sub out in space, versus I get some sort of avatar manifestation too, and you can actually bring in a whole possibly other demographic to supplement our demographic.
Yeah.
who might overlap in some ways and sometimes anyway, because now that you're, whatever, you're tapped into the pipeline, you're a player, whether you choose to be an avatar player or a spaceship player, but then there's also some overlap, I assume. I don't know. It kind of gives me some curious
I mean,
thoughts.
there's also the other side of it. Like, yeah, maybe there's a bunch of people that are not really into, flying around and like doing combat or doing stuff like that. They just want to like get into the social aspect of the game. They just want to log in and like just go hang out in stations.
Do PI remotely
So now,
as an avatar, as a
the
space
people
Barbie,
that are
which is cool.
interested in actually flying the ships, they're going to keep flying the ships. But maybe more people come in that just want to hang out in the stations, do the social thing, and so think of it like Elite Dangerous. You fly around. There's all kinds of stations all over. It's a fun game. You get to explore stuff. Oh, let me dock at this station. See what's going on here. And imagine that you go in there. It's like, oh, well, nobody's in here because it's an empty station. So if you get more, centers of these spots where there's a bunch of people just hanging out doing shit in the station, now you can like, oh, I'm gonna go dock in here, and like it's like, yeah, you're out flying spaceships and doing combat, doing whatever you feel like. But when it comes time to go dock in the station, it's a lively environment where there's actually like people doing shit and doing, constantly doing stuff, and it's a hub, an actual hub of people, and that could be entertaining in and of itself too. So, I don't know. I'm just saying that's a possibility for an appeal to that.
So my alliance does a thing
Oh, cool.
every
We just found
Saturday.
out a Darwin alt. Kidding.
Wait.
Sorry.
We do a thing every Saturday night where we just get on comms, hang out, have drinks. It's an opportunity for like members to just ask leadership any question, and then afterwards we go on a fleet together. And that hanging out part on comms is like a fun social event for us. But if there's no in-game element to it, so something like player housing or and like our Keepstar or whatever would add that game element to it that doesn't currently exist.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just test it out, test the waters. Might as well. And here's the thing with the whole Summer of Rage with the was it Incarna? That was the update that caused the big old So
Yeah,
I mean, that
sounds
was
about right.
before my time, but I mean, look at Incarna. The reason there was so much people upset about that is because they thought it was gonna be some kind of interactive in-station thing, and people were excited for that, and then it wasn't. And so there is the fact that there was that much. I mean, if no one cared about like, oh, hanging out in stations and doing social stuff, there wouldn't have been very much upset. Oh, this thing I didn't care about doesn't work. I don't care. Everyone wanted it, and it didn't work, and that's why people were mad. So there is a massive desire for this, I think. So
I've said it before, but I want the Oasis like from Ready Player One, but the books, not the
hell
movie.
yeah.
I want like imagine that kind of immersion, but in the Eve universe.
Imagine when,
I would
like,
love that.
Imagine when Eve is like VR capable, and you actually just like VR. It'll be like what was that, like VR chat? It'll be like VR chat, but in Eve.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah! Imagine you could design your own captain's quarters, like kind of like design your own chat rooms. People can come in and like set up whatever the fuck
Dance
you
in your
want.
clubs.
Although I think VR chat devolved into a lot of like lewd things.
Well, yeah, people are getting sexually assaulted in like the.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't-
That's horrible. I
I
didn't
just
know
remember
that.
it was like
That
the week after
happened.
Facebook announced something, like then an article came out or something. I
Oh,
was just
okay.
like,
That's not
okay.
what I meant by lewd thing. I meant like just funny, joking around lewd shit. I didn't mean that.
I remember seeing that and
that's
being
sad,
like, oh,
disappointing.
that
I think
that
it was
didn't take
probably.
long.
I think
I
it was
didn't have VR
probably
chat.
like manufactured bullshit, but I don't know. I didn't read the article myself. That just sounded like let's try to pro clutch about some like online interactions and
Yeah,
try to
I
make an
never
article
did
out of
the
it.
VR chat.
internet.
Well, I don't have VR, but I saw some YouTube videos of some various things that were pretty hilarious. Though it was the super sad piglet one was it was so bad. He's like, "Hey, you want to go over here?" He's like, "You just look on the edge." It was like Piglet, but with like an Eeyore mentality, like super like sad Piglet. And he's like,
Oh bother.
yeah, he's just kind of like, oh yeah, and he just like jumped off the edge, and like, oh, and everyone just watched him. He's like, goodbye, everybody. I mean, I guess it's not funny to make
Wow.
fun of suicide, but I'm saying he
Yeah, I
jumped-
was like, wait,
and then like
Right
the whole
away.
like
Going?
the whole like did like the
I
the
wasn't following
violin sound, like,
incredibly closely initially.
I don't know, it just. And then you had the
I will remember
Uganda
you by like
Knuckles
Sarah
thing that
McLaughlin
was-
or whatever.
the Uganda Knuckles thing was funny for
Yeah, that
about
sounds horrifying,
5
Jordan.
minutes, and then it got really not funny very quickly.
This sounds super dark, dude.
Actually, I mean, like, you know, in all reflection, like,
Piglet was one of the like nice, happy,
yeah, no,
optimistic
in
characters. and-
reflection, actually, VR Chat was just a horrible human experiment that showed just the depravity of humans.
Well, anonymous humans, sure.
Yeah, I mean, like,
VR Chat had some optimistic stuff too. So like
It had
Final
some
Fantasy
fun
did
stuff,
club
yeah.
DJs. I know VR Chat did too, like with people through the pandemic. There was also they did one video where like people were streaming and hanging out, and then one guy, because you have the VR setup, he was having a seizure. And everyone took it super seriously. They were like
Yeah.
trying to get a hold of like the family. Guy ended up being okay, but like just seeing that reaction was like superhuman.
There's some
Yeah,
unique
yeah.
positives there.
So VR Chat's not the worst.
I mean, there's. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying
Well,
there's
and-
some
and-
funny part. I mean, it's the internet. There's funny parts about it, and then there's some really not funny shit about it.
It's,
I mean,
that's what happens with any new tech that comes along, right?
Sure.
There's this explosion of kind of people who we
Want to
we
explore
want to
the
push the
boundary.
limits. We want to see what we can do with this new thing that we've been given.
The
And
internet's
then
powerful.
yeah,
tool.
we get some really fucking weird shit coming out of that. And it's cool, and sometimes it's creepy, and sometimes it's gross, but oh, I think it's great.
I want Cyberpunk, the VR game.
You just want to have sex with robots, dude, you pervert.
Ooh.
They're not robots. They're Joy Toys, Rain.
Have you
Listen to her-
seen, have
listen
you
to her
seen
rationalize
some
it.
of the Joy toys in that game? I mean,
Wait,
Whoop,
isn't there only,
totally okay
isn't
with
there
it.
only 2?
god damn.
There's only 2.
Well,
right?
I mean, there's, yeah, I mean, there's only 2 that you can have sex with, but they're all over the place. They're all over
He
the
didn't
city.
fight it-
Yeah,
he
yeah.
didn't
Oh,
fight it
yeah,
at
yeah,
all,
like
though.
the answers, and then you got Judy. Oh, Judy.
Judy.
Oh man,
Oh, she. Oh my god.
that was
goodness.
what
I,
that was what
I
was like,
swear to God, Judy is a character like straight out of my dreams. Literally, like I've dreamt
You guys are
about Judy
musing
before.
over this.
I-
this video game
yeah, I
figure?
know. I'm not gonna lie. I was like playing through the game, and then like I did the whole started doing the mission with Judy and stuff. I'm like, I was like, this is my favorite character, and then I found like, oh, she's a possible romance character, but she's lesbian, so you have to make a female
a
character. I'm like,
lesbian, yeah.
restart female character. Fucking
Somebody made a mod that allows you to have. Well, oh wait, okay. So I can't remember what the mod was, but it had something to do with
Don't.
Judy's.
It's not weird,
sex
Delana.
I,
Cyberpunk.
Or just
mean-
memeing-
No, I mean,
you're
I'm
just
saying
memeing on
it was
Cyberpunk.
like I loved that game. I did not.
I assume
it
it's
is a
super
spoilers, but
well
I
written
don't
if you
like
guys
the
are falling
ending
in
at
love
all.
with this character.
I hate the ending. I hate it.
Well, yeah, no spoilers.
I'm not gonna even spoilers. I'm just saying
Now I hate it, and I haven't even played it, Drayden. God damn you.
Me too.
Yeah, but you know
Fuck
what?
Cyberpunk.
Some people like it. There's a lot of people that thought the ending was good. I personally don't like it.
Okay, well, I appreciate you saying that.
And also, there's
Just
multiple
in case
endings.
I might like.
There's multiple endings.
Well, what the hell then?
I've not
You just
played it
played
yet
the
either.
bad ending.
Yeah, it seems like you're just
I'm
bashing
gonna
this
say
game
no
now.
comment for the sake of no spoilers, but I
So
was like,
real
this
talk?
game's 9 out of 10, and now I say it's 4 out of 10.
Real talk, or any of you
Literally
guys gonna
because of the
play?
ending.
Are any of you
Say it
guys gonna play the Hogwarts Legacy game when that comes out?
Hogwarts?
I don't know what
No,
that is.
That's the
I don't
Harry
like J.K.
Potter.
Rowling.
I mean, I don't eat like her either, but like I'm also not gonna.
She's
walk
already a
away from
billionaire.
one of
She doesn't
my
need
childhood
nonsense.
favorite stories. No, they're coming out with a RPG set in the Harry Potter universe, like in the
RPG or
1800s.
MMORPG?
Oh man, Hogwarts Online?
RPG,
I probably
RPG, not an MMO. I'm disappointed about that as well, but I'll still buy that game.
Is it like Hogwarts,
Hogwarts
Online?
Battle Royale.
Look, if I can't be toxic, just like yelling at people in local about being articles or something, like what's the point of
Diagon
playing these
Alley
games?
Online?
I want to get in there and I want to be mean to people.
Can you play as Hagrid?
No, Hagrid's pretty nice. Why would I play him?
Because he's pretty nice.
I mean, he seems pretty nice. I'd
What,
probably
you
play him.
gonna play Voldemort?
No, man, you can't choose Voldemort in the MMO of Hogwarts.
Dude, imagine if you just like choose the villain.
So, did anybody here play Star Wars Galaxies?
No.
No.
Nobody at all?
No.
I've heard there's so many good
I played a
reviews
lot
on
of
a lot of
MMOs,
Star Wars
Star
games.
Wars,
I think
yeah.
the only one I played was SWOTOR, I think, for about half.
So-
like about
Knights of the Old
10
Republic,
hours, I think.
KOTOR?
No, not
I
KOTOR.
know.
Star Wars: The Old Republic
Star-
Online.
Oh,
Wars
okay.
Jedi
Online.
I
Outcast.
still
Yeah.
I still have
Okay.
that installed, but I've never played like super far into it.
Yeah. No.
So, fun thing with Star Wars Galaxies, it was an MMO. It was very hyped. I remember being in high school. I still have in a box somewhere like the PC Gamer that has like a fucking write up on like talking about the features of this game and everything, what was going to come in this game. When Star Wars Galaxies released, you couldn't like it was class based to an extent, but you couldn't like choose to be like a Jedi or a Sith or anything. Like that part was like tucked away in the game. And it wasn't like in a way that like you could like a month or two in or something like go to a fandom page or some bullshit like that and be like, how do I become a Jedi? And somebody tell you how to unlock it.
Well-
It was like a dynamic unlocking system.
And it was the requisites for unlocking it were unique to each character.
Yes.
So no
was-
matter what, if somebody figured out their way to become a Jedi, that didn't mean that you could become a Jedi by doing the same things. You had to figure it out your own way.
It was incredibly
Oh.
unique.
I
And I,
didn't
had a
know
buddy who did it, like a real life buddy. We both started the game. We were super hyped on it and played the game. I had no interest in being a Jedi or a Sith or anything. I was a droid builder and had my own fun doing various other things. But he somehow like followed the friggin' breadcrumbs and unlocked his way to Jedi at some point or something. And then at some point they came through with like the new player experience, which I don't want to like mar Eve's phrasing of that or anything but it was the combat update and the new player experience, and they basically made all the classes just like a selectable class at that point, and it completely destroyed a lot of like aspects of the game, because before it was mostly just regular people running around being regular people in an MMO, all the different classes that you would and going out and doing your things. And then at some point it was like, I want to play the game to be, Jedis and Siths or whatever. And then you could just fill an MMO with that sort of thing. It was tragic. I'm sorry. Just reflecting on old MMOs now.
What's our HP?
RHP?
are you catching up?
Well, I mean that was a long time ago. Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. I don't know. It was some dude posting his Discord link in the chat and Rain banned his ass or something.
Oh, okay.
I just deleted the link because I didn't know. Like, I didn't hear you guys talking about it, so I was like, "Oh, I don't know
Yeah,
what this link is."
I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I don't know.
Safety
Okay.
first. then
I was
teamwork.
just like, yeah, RHP, rip, rip. All right.
Rest, honor, pieces.
Before it gets too late, do we want to do Tremors?
I'm winding down.
Okay.
I'm an old
I
man.
will find it. I will
Okay.
get it.
I mean, I could no. I'll let
I'll-
you get it. I'm not gonna leave my machine running and streaming shit.
Yeah, I'll get it. It's fine.
Rain, what are you laughing at? Jesus Christ! How can you be having that much fun in a
My-
Final Fantasy game?
So there was a thirsty maid, and she's like, "Hey, pretty girl, want to dance?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
Thirsty
sure."
Thirsty
Maid?
maid.
Wait,
She
did y'all
was-
sing
she-
that like
she's
a
butterfly
thirsty
song?
maiden.
No, maid. Like her outfit's a maid.
Oh.
Hey, pretty girl, want to dance with me? The smartest thing you ever did was take a chance with me.
Yeah, but she's like, "Hey, who's gonna be my cat girl for tonight?" And like shout, and I just ignored it, and then she DM'd me like 5 minutes later. And then my
Secrets
friend
of
shows
yours.
up.
You
and my
were
friend's
chosen?
outfit. Yeah, so she apparently picked me. There's a lot of bunny girls, not a lot of cat girls. But then my friend shows up, and her outfit's fire. Well, his outfit, her character. Like, she has shades and everything. What the fuck? It's so cute. And he's
Are
like,
we
"Yeah, man, I
encouraging
don't."
more furries or are we not? That's all I'm
You
wondering.
gotta be a
I don't
cat
know.
girl. They're cute.
I don't know.
There's cat girl, bunny girl. There's demon horn girl.
Yeah, you can be lizard girl, scalies.
Well, I mean, there's not scaly lizard. I mean, like, there's just like, isn't there one with just the horns?
Yeah, well, they have like scale patches too.
Do they? Oh.
Yeah.
I think that's what I was gonna make. Although I was making a dude. Maybe he didn't have the scale patches. I didn't see scale patches. It was just like dude with horns.
Yeah, no, the horns are
So
pretty
hor-
cool.
I
I
was,
wish.
I was like, I'm gonna be a horny boy in a.
Wow.
Jesus. I swear to God. All right, he's sending me.
Cat girls, bunny girls, and horny boys. Final
It's
Fantasy
fun, though.
14. Sign up today. Sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Is it because like there's lizards and then there's I think it was like you had to sub only. It was like a subscribers only like race.
Yeah, they gate camp a couple. Gate camp, Jesus. They gate a
Gatekeep.
couple of them behind behind a paywall. It's like one of them's the lizard, not the lizard people, and then the lions.
It wasn't
So if
lion.
you-
It must have been lizard. Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
lion for sure. I still haven't played that game. I like bought it and then I subbed and then it was like the login queues are so long and I just never played it. I still need to log in and like play through the whole thing. I heard it's pretty good. Lizards for life. Delana's saying lizards are okay. OP. All right, I got Tremors rented.
How can we? Am I able to see?
Do you have
I think
eyes?
a friend of mine. I think a friend of mine is may have got blocked from the chat. She's
Uh-oh.
saying she can't chat.
Oh,
I'm trying to see like who the blocked names are, and I'm not sure where to find them.
It's that's the streamer only list. But what's her username?
You can just go. You have mod powers. You can just slash.
Slash like
Maybe they got
unban.
banned on slash.
Yeah, do
unban
slash
on
I,
their
unban.
yeah, I don't
username.
know. I'll try it.
I mean,
You guys don't have like no follower only, no
Yeah,
no
we're
sub
not on
only.
Yeah, no, we
follower
don't have
sub
anything like that.
only.
Do you have
none of
like a
that shit.
verified only? So like you
No.
have to be a verified account to
the
talk?
only ones I've banned were like ViewBot seller bots that come in like, oh, you want more viewers? Purchase ViewBots at this website. That's the only
Yeah.
stuff I've banned.
Pretty good
Oh,
sales pitch.
On top of one person that was like just came in and just like threw racial slurs right off the bat. Like, first time chat
Whoa.
from this person is racial slurs. I'm like, bye. So I did ban that person.
so it says she had suspicious user monitoring, but that never showed up. I have mod view on, and that never showed up.
I don't know.
She was like auto modded.
Yeah, so
Potentially.
people try to ban evade and stuff. Twitch has a program where it just like blocks them, and then they never know. They think they're
Oh,
chatting, but they never
weird.
know.
Yeah, because like, the auto
Oh,
mod just
yeah.
it
She's
basically
posted
puts
before.
the auto mod just puts a message on hold, and then a moderator can approve it, and then it'll come out, or they
Yeah.
can deny it, and it just gets deleted, and no one sees it. So the auto mod
No, I-
shouldn't do
I
anything
can
about
see
banning.
Yeah, I can see the history of the mod actions now. Okay, I'm figuring this out. I've never actually dug into the mod tools before.
Some of them are pretty good.
There's mod tools. Where are those at?
If you do twitch.tv/moderator/opencomms, you can see it, or you click the little sword by the chat box. And it will show like automod queue. It will flag like, so I've seen it before where it's like it'll flag an account and say, oh, suspicious user or whatever. And you can see like, oh, is this like a ban evader, or were they banned on other channels or something?
Auto mod Q mod.
Your friend sounds kinda like a
actions,
shitter.
Channel actions.
She has 300 messages in the Twitch
How do you
chat
guys-
and not
okay,
modded
she's-
before.
She's
Wait,
been
how,
in here
how are
before.
you seeing the name?
Under chat in the chat window, there's a little like sword icon in the
Yeah, I
bottom
got
right.
that.
says
I'm
mod
in the
view.
mod view.
And then bottom left, mod actions. You can see everything that's been done, the whole history of it.
And at the top is the most recent. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. It says removed from. Oh, yeah.
I don't know how she got added. That's weird. Oh well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the past chats she said. There's nothing wrong with anything
Yeah.
that she said, so there's no reason that she would have got manually banned. I don't know. Weird. Now, how do I get out of this view?
Just delete the moderator in the URL.
/ delete mods.
Delete all moderators. Delete channel.
I don't. Man, this is why I'm not a moderator of my own shit. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm stuck in mod view. I'm stuck. Help me, step chat. I'm stuck.
Shut up. What the fuck?
Goodness.
I actually don't. I'm just gonna reload the page. Oh no! I'm still stuck in mod view.
Just go to the normal Twitch URL.
Oh, you just gotta delete the / moderator. Oh, man.
That's what she said. Remove
Oh.
moderator from the URL.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I thought she said just remove moderator. I'm like, but where's the button for that? I didn't hear. Okay.
It's all good.
All right. Whew. Do you want to watch some Tremors before it gets too late?
Let's go.
All right.
Hell yeah.
I got it rated. So, rest in peace. Cool guy from Tremors, not Kevin Bacon. Although Kevin Bacon's pretty cool too.
What the hell's wrong with Kevin Bacon?
No, I'm just saying, like, it's not Kevin Bacon, but cool guy. Fred Ward.
Squidward?
I call him Fredward.
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 Squidward died? Oh my god.
Yeah, Fredward died. So we're gonna watch some Tremors. If you want to watch Tremors, join the Discord for comms. There should be a link right below the visual, the video of the chat. Down below, there should be like about Open Comms. To the right, there should be a Discord button. Click on that, and it'll join you to the Discord. And then find the movie night video or voice channel. I really should add a thing for that, Rain. We don't have bots.
I'm just memeing. Bots are
Yeah.
bad, dude.
Well, bots can be useful. We
Bots
need
are
a bot,
helpful.
but yeah. So if you want to watch the movie, join the Discord and join the movie night voice channel, and we'll be down there in a little bit, and we'll get the movie rolling, and we can watch some Tremors. But with that being said, we're out for the night, and we will catch you all next week.
Peace.
Later,
Later,
bitches.
guys.
Later, bitches.
Goodbye.